We're good.
Joseph took the Snorlax with him to the bathroom.
It's just a little piss, buddy.
Buddy. Needs to keep an eye on him. So it's like, you know how dogs will look to you when they're doing their business because they're looking to you for protection because they're vulnerable at the moment? That's why he brings Snorlax with him. So set him up on guard so that nobody can rush him while he's doing the business.
Nobody can rush him.
They rush me when I do the pee-pee.
They rush me while I hold my BB. Stop rushing us while we're holding
Does
our
Snorlax protect you?
Yes.
Protect me, cone.
Protect my paper. All right, welcome to the podcast.
This is just kind of loafin'.
Did you do 10 seconds of sound?
Oh, boy, did we ever.
Okay. Welcome to the podcast. What are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a lot of game
No.
stuff? I don't really have any.
I played Bloons Raft in a while. Let's go.
I've recently played Balloons and that's it. I haven't played games for 2. I haven't.
You've been playing Assassin's Creed again.
No, I
literally just
Okay,
started
but
a
you
new
bought
character.
something for Assassin's Creed.
Shh, don't tell them.
we're sponsored by Ubisoft. Go buy the horse skin and what was the other one?
Celestial skin.
Celestial skin. The horse skin, which lights you on fire. And the celestial skin, which makes you pasty.
I want that as a description on some kind of ointment I buy.
Makes you pasty. Pasty as AF.
Pasty AF plus. Makes you pasty.
What have you been playing, Kris?
I haven't been in the mood to play a lot of things.
That's weird. We're all exactly the same.
I mean,
I haven't been able to
You've
commit
played
to...
little bits of everything.
Yeah, the only thing I've played... There's only been 2 things I've been playing consistent amounts of, and that's...
The Forest.
No. We dabbled in that, though. We played a little bit of The Forest. That game's scary. We may have hidden in the plane the first time it went dark all night and thrown flares out every time I heard a sound.
And then fist fought cannibals and died.
You died. I proceeded to get a rock and lay waste.
Kris,
you were trying your dinky
gauged
spear.
the surroundings, found an appropriate weapon, and then engaged in conflict while I had already died because I didn't do any of that.
That game was a fun time. We also played, what's it called again? Disputed?
Desolate?
Desolate. That's what it is.
It's Dishonored.
Disputed 2.
Eldritch Dishonored.
We played Desolate. That game is hilarious.
Kris doesn't like it very much.
I like it. We can throw infinite rocks at things, and if you ding them in the head, they get staggered. It's great.
That is true.
It's really good. That game is kind of pissed, but it's fun.
No, it's amazing.
I really like it.
It's the power of unity.
It's fun. I like it. It's kind of piss.
It is.
Those aspects are not mutually exclusive.
I wanted it to be...
Oh, wait, Joe. I was going to say, then I just thought of another game that we kind of actually delved into. We played a bit of Savage Lands. Hilarious.
That was glorious.
Which one's that?
Early access piss. Survival trash. We bought it forever ago for like $2.
Yeah.
We just went in, started a server, created characters. Within 3 seconds of being in the game, we found a dragon and ran to engage it.
And then it blew you up.
Dragon flew away.
Oh, because it knew what's up.
And then another gent joined the server with us, found us.
Yeah, and he was all decked out in armor.
Yeah, he was like ripped and ready to go. And then we all F4'd the game.
Nice.
After dying in water.
Yeah, we jumped in the water and died. Because cold water kills you immediately.
I mean, you're made of dust, so...
Yeah, it was a good experience. That was a fun game.
And then we delved into some Resident Evil Revelations.
Yes, we played some of the raid mode.
And that shit is hilarious.
There's some characters in that.
Rachel Foley is thick AF.
Yeah, the character models are insane.
She thick.
Like, fucking insane, dude.
Like, huge ass.
That's all we know about the game.
I'm gonna keep explaining her proportions until you make a comment.
No, dude, she's crazy, okay?
Like, bigger than it probably needs to be.
Yeah.
Is she broader than broad?
No, she's tiny little thing, but she's got a big ass.
Yeah, so she's broad.
It's interesting. 4 out of 10.
No, it was a 10 out of 10 experience.
The game itself Not quite sure what's happening.
No idea.
Fish boys on a boat.
Well, if we played the story mode, we might know that, but you can't do that in co-op.
Nope.
So we just played the co-op scenario.
You'd like the story mode because Jill's in like a skin tight suit.
Oh, we did notice that.
Yes.
Yes.
That was the first mission, though, not the second one.
And like
The
the
second mission,
camera,
she's wearing normal pants.
the camera is just tall enough to see her booty.
Yeah.
most of the time.
And Rachel Foley is a little bit taller than her, so her ass is just there.
On display.
Nice.
It's
Good
amazing.
Pre-order now.
Yeah, I've been playing whatever I mentioned before with you.
The Forest.
A little bit of that.
Dust
We
Forest.
did
Dust
a
Place.
session each of those.
We played
right?
The Forest.
Yeah, to completion. We have played The Forest.
We beat it.
I've gone back to God of War and played some more of that.
Yeah.
Yep, right? It's not like it won
Terrible
any kind
game.
of award
No.
from anyone.
Desolate, though. Quality. Perfect
Quality
game. God
I've
of
been
War.
dabbling with God of War again. Really enjoyed that game.
So fucking good.
I've been playing The Division on and off, working my way up. I'm at level 19 now, so we can play co-op comfortably again.
You should read down The Division, actually.
Oh,
I
have you
forgot
guys-
to mention that, yeah.
Have you guys been playing it again?
We played it once together, but I haven't been able to get him to play with me since.
That's not... I'm not, like, not playing with you.
We'll play a game. Playing Raft.
I was playing a bit of Raft.
That's happened like 4 times. We're like, hey, want to play something? You're like, I'm playing Raft.
You don't understand.
I really want to play that.
Yeah, we'll play some Raft.
I'm excited to play
It's
Raft.
cool.
But the 2 things I've actually been playing kind of copious amounts of are the Half-Life 2 M mod, which is that thing that...
Sorry, that letter's fascinating. Why does the letter start with an E?
Just shut your mouth and let him talk.
That mod, it rejiggers the game to make the weapons feel different. It gives them actual
good.
Yes, it gives them actual projectiles rather than hit scan. Different animations on them as well. It adds some new weapons. Otherwise, it's just Half-Life 2. They adjusted some graphical effects, most of
Do
which
they
have
add
turned
gooder
off.
reloads?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love reload animation.
It even has if
like
you hit
Rock Galactics.
if you hit
reload animation. Okay, we'll talk about that after.
if you hit reload on a gun that's fully reloaded, it does like an examine animation on it.
Just okay,
Which I really like. And I'm just enjoying playing that game again. It's been too long. I used to play that game a lot, actually. It's fun. I'm at the part now where I'm leading a bug army into the prison, so
Okay,
that's cool.
spoilers. I haven't played it
There's a
yet.
bug army in prison.
I actually haven't played it yet. That sounds cool.
Yeah. Well, it's really... So they
You're
do...
never gonna play it.
No.
They do cool stuff. They do cool stuff in Half-Life 2 where it's like you'll do a section doing one thing and then the next section will kind of tip it on its head. So leading up to the point where I'm at, I was navigating a kind of precarious area where there are these bugs that are bursting out of the sand if you disturb the sand. So you have to like step on rocks and stuff like that, or find these military pylons that are set up that thump the ground to a beat to keep the...
Is this on Earth?
Yeah. Earth's been taken over by an alien species. So they have these like military setups and corralling people and sending them to concentration camps and stuff. So it's cool. All good stuff.
Good stuff.
Anyway, like, so you're using these thumper pylons that keep the bugs at bay as like cover. You'll come across some that are inactive, so you reactivate them to create a safe space, and you're going along and along. And then eventually you fight a big bug, and when you kill it, you get its pheromone pods, and now you lead the bugs.
Okay.
So now you're going and turning off those thumper pylons on your way to this prison facility.
That's cool.
To bring down their defenses, to bring your bug army in with you. So it's good stuff.
It's one of those games, like, everything that is ever explained to me, I can understand why people liked the series as much as they did.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of started all of it.
Yeah, nobody really does make first-person shooters even like it now. Not just, yes, games are better in terms of the gunplay department, especially like compared to the default Half-Life 2 state.
Yeah.
But they really don't... The only other game that's really scratched a similar itch for level design since has been Titanfall 2.
Oh.
Where like every level has a gimmick and a mechanic around it.
Like a Zelda dungeon.
Yeah. The other thing I've been playing a lot of is Slydrus 2. It's a phone game.
Fucking phone games.
You just made that up right now.
That's not real.
I used to play Slydrus for years. It's just like it's made by Radiant Games. They make those like neon-looking action puzzles and stuff on phones.
I like that stuff.
And I went to boot that up, and it gave me a full-screen ad, and I was like, "Oh, come on!" And then I saw it's like Slydrus 2 available now, and I was like, "Hell yeah!" I followed the link. Yeah,
Buy from the ad.
So that's whenever I don't feel like doing anything, that's the game. I throw something on YouTube or Netflix or whatever, and then start slide tracing.
That's what Bloons is.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Literally, yeah.
that's all I've been doing.
That's fun. That sounds like a good 2 weeks. When was the last time we did a podcast?
I haven't finished a game in any amount of time.
Games that are worth fucking finishing.
I haven't played any of my new games though. Like I bought a bunch of stuff in the Steam sales and didn't play any of it because
me and Myles are going through all the stuff that I bought on the Steam sale, and I forgot what half of it was.
Yeah.
I did recheck the store pages.
I do want to play Ashes of Singularity, though.
Yes.
I do want to try that out.
Excellent.
Despite how demanding it might be. Like, I'll turn it the fuck down, but I've always wanted to play it.
Really cool.
I don't know. I feel like I'm treading water until Resident Evil 2's out. I just want to play that.
That's,
and watch that
25th?
25th. But watch, that'll come out and I'll be like, eh.
Or it'll be fucked on PC.
Or it'll be fucked, but I suspect it'll be fine on PC. It's the RE engine. Like, that seems pretty good. And I'm just probably going to be unmotivated. Because the only thing I seem to have motivation and attention for is that which I don't have. I want the next thing, and then I have it, I'm like, cool, that's not interesting anymore. What's the next thing?
That's fair. Yeah.
So.
I hope I'm not like that with Anthem.
Yeah, I want to like that game. I hope it's good.
I'm glad Anthem is coming out when it is.
Early in the year.
Yeah.
Gives them time to fix it when it's inevitably fucked.
Yes. Yeah, because it's Frostbite Engine.
Comes out the same day as...
Has a Frostbite Engine game ever had a good launch?
Mass Effect Andromeda.
There it is. The perfect game.
Jeez. That's not what I remember.
Was Hardline funky?
Consoles, it was fine.
Not on the
Yeah,
PC.
I think actually that's one of the only Battlefields.
That was the best Battlefield launch there
How
was.
about,
I think we played that from day one.
How about Inquisition?
That's still fucked on PC.
Oh.
That was not a good game.
Is it messed up on PC?
The cutscenes are locked at 30.
Oh, well, a lot of games do that.
And a lot of games are fucked.
I mean, that's unideal.
I think Inquisition and Hardline would have been the best Frostbite launches. Inquisition was fine on consoles.
Yeah.
Well, it was 20 to 30 FPS fine on consoles compared to every other
Will
game.
gameplay run well on PC
Yeah.
for Inquisition? Because I may have bought that.
Oh. You'll get 60 the whole time.
Cool.
Maxed out.
Yeah, I'm used to games.
That's probably a better way to play it then.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my time. It's just kind of, I don't know.
I didn't care about the story, but the gameplay I liked.
It almost seemed boring. I don't know.
I didn't like the combat, and I didn't like...
the story, and I didn't like the performance, and so I didn't like the game.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I thought it was the weakest Dragon Age game.
I liked the gameplay
absolutely.
because of the character I ended up...
You know how I feel on Origins. So.
Oh, yeah.
I liked the gameplay because of the character I ended up building, just tanky lady.
Oh my god, I had the biggest bull lady in the world. She was so cool.
Oh, I should make a bull lady.
Uh-huh.
Because I just made a human lady, and I made her like
So
shield
cool.
and sword person, and all of my every encounter, as I got deeper into the game, pretty much devolved into my entire team dies, but my character,
Shield.
and I just am tanking everything. I'm not doing tons of damage, but I can outlive the enemy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I keep layering armor on and on.
That game's level up system, progression system, experience,
remember how-
all of it was fucking dumb.
I don't remember how that worked.
That is a game that you boot that up and you activate the cheats and have way more fun.
I remember the intro to that game being really cool because it starts with just magical 9/11.
And then when it shows your fucking castle and the music that's playing,
Yeah.
I guess that's not that early in the game actually.
I'll play that game again.
Yeah, it was the weakest of the Dragon
I never
Age, but
finished
still
it.
pretty good.
I don't finish.
I like dragon hunting in that game.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I don't think I ever got to the point where I was hunting dragons.
After your 5th area, you can go dragon hunting pretty reliably.
Cool. I will boot that game up in the near future and play probably about 5 hours of it and be like, okay.
All right.
That's what I
That's
seem
about
to,
how much I could.
That's what I seem
stomach
to do
of it.
these days.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to play Mass Effect Andromeda.
So you got to play some co-op with us.
Dragon Age?
No, something.
Oh, okay.
You'll commit to it that way.
Balloons.
It's not co-op.
We can play it simultaneously.
We'll play Diablo.
Yeah.
And then Anthem.
Yeah.
Assuming it's...
Okay.
And we'll probably buy it anyway.
If it stays above 70 FPS, I'll be content.
Cool.
We should probably install the other hard drive before it's done.
Yes. Assuming it fits.
Anything else anyone's been playing?
What were we just talking about? And you said, wait, we'll talk about it after.
Deep Rock.
Deep
Rock has reload animations and they're amazing.
Mm-hmm. The assault rifle.
Yeah.
It's like the FAL from Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Ba-chink!
It's so good.
I still need to buy that again on Steam because you won't play the Windows 10
No.
store.
I have it on Steam. I want to play it on Steam.
Yeah.
I already bought the game once.
So did I.
So did I.
But I just needed to buy it a whole 2 times.
Yeah.
And it's only $22.
27.
Yeah.
$27.99. I lied.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my mom and Daryl get it too.
How many players is that game?
4.
Well, then you're good.
We'll always reliably have a team. Maybe.
Rock and Stone. Have they added any more chants?
No, but they made them louder.
Rock and Stone!
Yeah. Like, it feels like they're more passionate in their voice.
Have they added more, I guess, iterations of that line?
I don't think so.
So it'd be like-
all the same.
I just mean like different intonations of it, I guess.
Different characters say it differently now.
Have they added more characters?
No. Still the same 5. More
they-
customization options.
Have they fixed any of the characters?
more enemies.
It's only 4 characters.
Yeah.
I remember.
What did I say?
I remember the
four
drill
characters.
boy with the drill hands. He like ran out of ammo almost immediately, and then was completely useless for the rest of the.
You went through the whole
yeah.
level with it?
Yeah.
I never ran
So they fixed
out
him
of
then.
ammo.
A machine gun guy.
Even for drill hands.
Yeah.
I ran out of ammo not terribly fast.
Machine gun guy or the minigun guy?
Minigun guy.
That game's better now, and because it was good then.
Performance seemed amazing. I never dipped below 130.
Cool.
And there were some enemies that we'd never seen before. Some weird, long...
Does the game look any different? Like, have they adjusted the visual?
Better ambient occlusion.
Cool.
Yeah, like the shadows in spots, like based off of objects, are better.
I'll buy that game again at some point.
I sneezed. Okay, on to the news.
Sure.
We haven't played a lot of games, sorry.
First bit of
Onwards.
news, something a little, I don't know, disconcerting. Remember the game The Last Night?
Oh, yes.
It was revealed or I think it was a known thing before then, but...
Blade Runner, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, pixely looking, cyberpunky, has almost like an Octopath Traveler, pixels in 3D space look.
Really good.
I guess it's run into some troubles, like financial and development troubles, which... So the developers aren't...
Who's making it?
I don't know the name of the team.
Okay.
The developers haven't really said why, like they're being coy about it. A lot of people suspect it has to do with them effectively being blacklisted in many respects because of their politics.
Because that has a place in games.
Totally.
Sure,
yep. I guess shortly after the reveal of the game, they ran into some... I was not aware of this at the time, but they ran into some hot water because they were talking about the setting of the game, and it's set in a world where progressive ideologies have gone wild and people...
Oh, our world.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of in a politically correct dystopia.
That's what they want.
And they're being...
That's where we're going.
So they were being attacked for it by activists, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're...
The real Nazis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
Amazing.
That may not be the case.
That was the only thing I liked from that E3. Yeah. Glorious.
That may not be the case of what their actual troubles are now, but, I mean, it seems like so many people within the industry are affected by that stuff that...
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too bad. Anyway...
People are stupid.
Want to hear some good news?
Mm-hmm.
Activision Blizzard loses 2 CFOs within a week.
2 of their 3.
Yeah.
2 of their 3
So
CFOs.
one of them was specifically... so Chief Financial Officer is the term. One of them was specifically of Blizzard, the Blizzard side of Blizzard. The other one, I think, was just of Activision Blizzard, like the whole
Like, they just walked?
The lady was
well, one of them was job hunting, and then was fired for that because you're not allowed to job hunt. But then he was picked up by Netflix. The lady, she left to go to a payment processing company called Square. And, yeah, Activision Blizzard continues to fall apart, I guess, is the... Yay, good news.
Not fast enough.
Yeah, the sooner they die, the sooner we can get on with our lives, I guess.
The sooner there's a rebirth and something good happens.
Yeah.
Like Diablo 7.
That's how Darksiders 3 came to be.
Yeah.
Diablo 7. Yeah.
Actual good news. What up?
No, sorry, I was saying that to that. I lost my water bottle, though.
Actual good news.
Checker.
Joe.
There it is.
Oh, no,
Yeah, sorry, I'm
Isn't it
focused.
that one?
No,
Oh,
that's
your
my
new
old
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actual good news. A mod came out for
half
Dark Souls that people seem pretty cool about. It's called Daughters of Ash. Apparently,
it adds bosses and stuff.
yeah, so it repurposes unused models and assets to nearly double the game's size with new bosses, weapons, NPCs, and quest lines. Currently, it's only compatible with the Prepare to Die edition, like the old PC version of the game, but it will be getting the remastered treatment within a couple months.
Dope.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's going to be
I might buy it now.
Cool excuse to go back to that.
I guess you'll potentially get banned for using that if you go online and stuff.
Maybe. Did you get banned for Dark Souls?
I haven't gone online.
Oh, smart boy.
Oh, I should, though. Because all they do is ban you from playing the multiplayer.
Oh, no.
Hack in whatever shit I want. I know, for the longest time, like, everybody that I've played Dark Souls 3 online with has hacked a character to a realistic set of items that they want, and then we do PvP.
There you go.
So, and then the fact that they banned for that's infuriating. Make a dedicated server thing for the people that don't, and then leave us to the people that do. Fuck off, Dark Souls.
Fuck off.
Cool mod.
Yeah.
Surprised the people that made it weren't, like, taken off the internet or something.
Or
Like
blown
Bethesda likes to do. Or blown up, yeah.
I guess I didn't put that in news.
Bethesda's banning people for fixing their fucking game.
Even people that do...
Excuse me?
So even people that do just visual mods for Fallout 76 are banned, and the only recourse they're given to get unbanned is if they write an essay to Bethesda explaining why mods are bad.
Like, sure, fuck Konami. Bethesda's at the bottom now.
Yeah, they are the worst company.
Wow.
Even if Doom Eternal was coming out...
Yeah, even if they
Steam.
hadn't canceled Doom,
Yeah.
Bethesda's the worst.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Who use sales?
Speaking of fuck 'em,
Randy Pitchford.
Your boy!
your boy, Randy with the dandy.
Here we go.
So, I guess Treyarch has taken to selling red dots in Black Ops 4?
They sold red dots in Black Ops 3.
So, it's a...
Hold on. I can buy a better red dot set.
No, it's not a... My understanding is it's not a red dot sight. It literally changes the floating crosshair in the middle of the screen
The reticle?
to a red dot for $1.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds like...
Wait, so it changes your crosshair
Yeah,
to a red dot?
yeah,
Okay.
for $1.
When aiming down the sight, though.
No.
It just makes your crosshair a dot.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I find the crosshair takes up too much space anyway.
But
I'm gonna buy it.
leave it to Activision to make
To-
that a
to
dollar.
sell it.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I'm sold. I'll buy it.
You're part of the problem.
Look,
Listen
whatever.
here. As a professional gamer...
No, here's how we do it. We continue to fund these guys, and then one year we just stop,
Yeah, they'll notice when
And
I
they
stop.
sing-
Leave them hanging
Yeah.
onto their panties.
and then they explode.
The panties?
Yeah,
Full disclosure, I'm totally buying that. Seriously.
it's pretty good.
You have to tell me what it actually is. I'm pretty sure I read that correctly. That it was
It wouldn't surprise me if it was like the actual red dot changes the red dot sites.
I thought
Because
That's what I thought too, but I'm
3.
pretty sure there's already just a red dot side.
Yeah,
red
so I
dot.
don't know why.
Je ne sais pas.
I
didn't say that with
don't
the-
speak Italian.
And I didn't say it with the
Did
decent accent.
y'all fools hear about the Nuka Dark
Yep.
thing?
Well, no, I didn't.
So, people who deserve it were paying $80 USD to pre-order something called Nuka Dark. It was a alcoholic beverage. It was rum based, I guess, on something they invented for Fallout, where it's like, oh yeah, it's the Nuka-Cola Company's first attempt at alcohol. Here you go.
I said yes like I knew what this topic was and thought I could fake it. I'm already confused and don't know what it is.
So they took pre-orders for this thing, and it was advertised, and it looked like it was a rum in like a big glass bottle that looked like kind of like a black rocket ship or whatever, designed kind of like Nuka-Cola looking type thing.
Yep.
People got their $80 USD rum in the mail, and it was shitty, cheap rum in a glass bottle covered in a plastic shell. And they deserve it. Because
Bethesda.
why do you keep giving Bethesda money?
Bethesda!
But all the pictures on the website looked like it was like a matte brushed
Are you
glass
telling me they
container.
advertised something and gave people something else?
Oh, weird.
What the fuck? Canvas Handbag, Fallout 76, Fallout 4, Fallout 3, Skyrim,
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls, thank you.
There's a lot of Bethesda news this week.
Bethesda's a shit company,
So, also regarding Fallout 76,
Oh boy.
when the new year cranked around, all the nukes in the game stopped working because they were tied to 2018, apparently.
How?
So I guess there's
How does that make
so there's
sense?
there's a timer, a cooldown timer on when you can use a nuke again.
Yeah.
And I guess that time...
And they timed it to...
the calendar somehow. So people would go to do the nuke and it'd be like, now there's 99999 time left.
They couldn't just stop at tying the physics to the frame rate. They needed to tie the game to...
Time. Oh, yeah.
Bethesda.
Also...
How do you keep doing this?
Also, for the holiday season, they were selling DLC, like Christmas outfits and stuff. And it was the first time they were ever available. And they were like, 50% off sale.
Nope.
Right off the bat. Like, they were released at showing a higher price discounted to a current price. Which is some Soulja Boy ass shit to do.
But, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's illegal, too. Because if it comes out with a discount, that's its price. Like, it never sold at a higher price before, so that can't be a discount.
Yeah.
No, you're not wrong.
Unless it was, like, in their store for, like, a minute, and then they discounted it.
I wonder what the actual, like, time limit is before it's no longer
It
illegal.
was on sale for a nanosecond.
Like 30 seconds.
And somebody paid full price for it, and they are livid. It went on sale literally 2 seconds after I bought it. Whatever, fuck you for buying it, you're stupid.
Actually, I didn't add this in news, but another thing, speaking of sales, somebody tweeted at Devolver Digital, like they were like, hey, I want to buy Shadow Warrior 2, put it on sale. And they were like, alright, for the next hour, 75% off. And they did it. Like, or the tweet was like, you got it, boss. Here you go, you have an hour.
Okay. Like, the cynical part of me is like, that's marketing.
Yeah.
Like, that's sure, whatever. But yeah. Sometimes Devolver.
Sometimes Devolver.
Sometimes. I like them.
Sometimes Devolver. Hashtag of the 2019. So, non-Bethesda news. It's, I guess there's a lot of hints and...
Do we go back to Bethesda news later?
There's some more later.
Dope.
Dope.
There's some hints and winks and nods that Catherine might be coming to PC.
Because Bayonetta keeps getting goats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or sheps?
Sheeps, yeah.
No, goats. Sheps. Sheps.
However, it sounds like
Cap
it's...
to 30.
Probably, but also it's not going to be, by the sound of it...
The trans version.
The new version, yeah.
Am I going to get the trans version?
I don't know.
Whatever, I'll
Probably
buy it
not.
on PlayStation when it comes out. And have they confirmed that character is trans?
I don't think they have.
That's stupid.
As he hugs Snorlax, just long, forlorn sigh.
Alright, well, I'll buy Catherine when it comes to PC, even if it's 30, and then I'll buy it again on console when it comes to 30.
Dumbass.
Dumbass. You stupid.
So next up is our first Kotaku story of the day.
Oh, I love Kotaku. I go there.
No, you don't.
No, you're right.
So a Kotaku, or a writer for Kotaku, a writer for Kotaku bragged on Twitter about visiting a bookstore and finding every copy they could find of 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson and sticking it to him by turning him around.
Oh.
Yeah! They proceeded to get criticized on Twitter, then they claimed harassment, and then they quit Twitter.
Oh my god. Because
almost everybody...
I wish I was stupid enough to fit in with this group of people.
What's great,
to see
too...
this from the inside would be astounding.
What's great, too, is that I scrolled through it for a bit. I didn't see a single comment that was talking about this from a political angle at all. It was all people just going, wow, you just made someone's life miserable. Like, think of the employee that has to go and undo all that shit you just did.
Yeah.
Good job, you child. Actually, I guess some were kind of political, where it was like, yes, very good idea, just showing pictures of, like 1930s book burning.
Yeah.
It's about time someone had the right idea, or whatever.
Jesus Christ. That's,
Yeah.
That's a whole lot of stupid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, bud.
Oh, yeah. Kotaku.
Back to Bethesda.
Who was it?
Oh, here, I'll find out. I have the link here.
You sounded so happy. I finally get to follow the link.
So Kate Gray.
Kate Gray. Okay.
She has...
Does she still have a Twitter?
She put it like
She has a
private or
disability?
whatever. Or something.
If I add her as a friend, is it not private anymore? Can I see
Actually, you
her
know what? We
tweets?
may be misgendering this person because they have pronouns in their bio.
Okay.
Although I can't see them.
Because they're private.
Oh no, she, her. Okay.
Okay, so it is a she
Yeah.
and a her.
So you put your pronouns in your bio, but they're
Just in case.
just in case.
Yeah.
All right.
If I ever am in a situation where somebody refers me to their Twitter bio so they can tell me what gender they are, I'm going to put a 9mm in my fucking forehead.
Today while shopping, I have hidden Jordan Peterson's books and turned Dilbert calendars upside down. I mean, it would be better if they weren't there in the first place, though.
What's a Dilbert calendar?
The Dilbert cartoons.
Is that a Pokemon?
Yep.
Dilbert? Delibird?
It's
Is that what it was?
Delibird. Santa
The
Claus.
presents? Yeah.
Santa Claus. Present.
It's Delibird.
Present for everybody.
What's she got against Pokemon?
Bitch.
Bitch.
It celebrates the subjugation of animals.
Yes.
That is correct.
That is celebration.
Rejoice, my brothers.
And there are no
Alright.
trans characters in the show.
Not yet.
Pretty sure Brock is one.
Who are they to say he isn't? Or she? Anyways, continue.
Bethesda news.
Yeah. Okay, what was her name again?
Kate Gray.
Continue.
Bethesda news.
Joe, stop looking her up on Twitter.
This
I wanna be friends with her.
isn't our kind of good news. So Bethesda settles.
Made $18 billion.
Bethesda settles out of court with Warner Brothers over allegations that it had copied code in its Westworld mobile game. I don't know if you remember hearing
It
about
did.
this. It did. I guess they came to some kind of agreement. Both games are going to stay up, Fallout Shelter and the Westworld game that's very clearly a rip-off of Fallout Shelter. So I guess Bethesda's getting a bunch of money and they're like, yep, keep your game, but we're getting paid.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Bethesda
If
doesn't...
only Bethesda blew up instead.
Uh,
Not like that. I just mean like...
so next up is my
They
favorite...
disabled nukes. It's 2019. You can't blow up Bethesda.
2019.
Next up is my favorite news of the week.
Oh,
and
here
probably
we go.
of 2019.
Devolver Digital.
Nope.
Teams up with Bethesda.
So, in December...
and something Gray. What's her name?
Kate.
Kate Gray. To turn all Jordan Peterson books.
This does have to do with Kotaku.
Oh, okay. Exciting.
So, in December, there suddenly appeared a female streamer that went by the name of Ellie, and who started playing Overwatch, and was doing quite well, climbing up the leaderboards. Very quickly signed to an esports team, not a, like my understanding is not like a pro level, but like semi-pro,
Cool.
called Second Wind. But there were a lot of questions about her. Like, she only went by Ellie.
Win.
No first, that wasn't, she admitted wasn't her first name, no last name. And her gameplay, people found odd. Like, during her streams, it
She's a bot.
didn't seem like her reactions were necessarily in line with what was happening with the gameplay. So a lot of people started speculating and
Someone's
commenting.
playing, like, for her type thing?
Yes, that it was someone off screen playing for her.
Okay.
Those accusations kept getting more and more heated, I guess, or not heated, but there were more and more of them over time, to the point that before the first tournament that this player was supposed to play at, she ducked out and said, "No, I'm not going to be a part of this." So, of course, mainstream media, including Kotaku and the Mary Sue, immediately made all their identical articles berating toxic against women, toxic gamers, women, whatever. Turns out Ellie was not Ellie. It was a male player by the name of Punisher, or his handle is Punisher. He's never been able to make it big in any stretch. He's like a top 500 player, but he never got into like pro or semi. Yeah, and was immediately put into it when he went under a female name. Oh, so it was a real girl in the streams, but it was his gameplay.
Yeah.
Kotaku has since issued no form of apology.
Of course not. Because they're never wrong.
Yeah. So they're like, they've updated their stories, but only in their wording was so...
Yeah, not saying that they were wrong and we...
Yeah, it was like...
mistake.
So there is come to our attention that there may be some truth to Ellie's identity being in question or whatever. It was like they're not even being specific about it, which is great. But yeah, I just love this whole scenario because it proves so many things at once. That A, women do get preferential treatment 100% of the time. That happens,
Yeah.
sure. B, these websites are always so quick to go to the toxic gamers at it again. Everything has to be about how...
I'm a toxic gamer.
Yeah.
Well, I actually am, but... Yeah.
Anyway, that's my favorite story. I just...
People are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Have I mentioned that yet, this podcast?
And of course the Punisher, when asked about it, it's like, well, it's a social experiment. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, you're just trying to get in. Yeah. And of course when people at your Kotakus or the people that defend the Kotakus are criticized for their actions or reactions to this,
Then it's harassment.
they're like, well, it started a conversation.
Okay.
Okay.
You're stupid. Whole cyber circle of idiocracy.
And my last story of the week is probably going to be your favorite
Uh-oh.
story of the week. It says some good news.
Uh-oh.
Well, we may not end up playing the games that this is going to be a part of due to principle or whatever. We don't have
Fuck
principles.
Nintendo.
We don't have principles. Mick Gordon wants to form a choir of heavy metal screamers for a game soundtrack. Who's putting that together?
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
What games?
Doesn't-
Or is this just him, like, this is his group and he's going to do it in games?
Yeah. So presumably, I don't know, probably Doom Eternal.
Killer Instinct.
Are they still doing?
They keep adding characters, don't they? Pretty sure.
Okay.
Maybe they haven't for a while. That's amazing. I like Mick Gordon
A heavy metal screamer choir.
That's glorious.
Has
That's the peak.
that ever been done?
Yes.
Okay. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But Mick Gordon behind
Yeah,
that,
Mick Gordon's
especially.
amazing. He needs to keep doing what he's doing.
Keep doing the Mickey G's.
Keep performing at the Keeleys. Keep I don't know what else he does. Keep doing that.
Performs the keys.
Yeah. Or what does Jeff call him?
McG.
No, what does he call his award show? He doesn't call. Jesus Christ, man. What does Jeff Keighley call his award show?
Keighley's.
No, what does he refer to me? How were you so fast with that?
I was ready.
You were ready in the wrong direction.
Well, because I was thinking to myself, McG.
Alright. That's enough. Is that it for news?
That's it for news.
Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the Warhammer Corner.
Welcome to Warhammer, boys.
Well, actually, I guess before we go into Warhammer...
And girls! And everybody else!
No, this is a boys only.
That's 2019.
It's 2019 boys only.
It's 2019 boys only. Actually, before we get into to news, if you want to email us, you can email us at justkindaloafin@gmail.com.
UST.
Kinda loafin.
At gmail.com.
Gmail.com.
.com.
That's gonna be a tag in our video.
.com.
Yeah.
At com.gov.
Alright, on to Warhammer Talk.
Warhammer Corner!
Oh, we've all made some good progress. This has been an exciting week.
2.
I don't remember when the last time we did a podcast was.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. It's been an exciting 2 weeks.
Yeah.
A week and a half.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
it was a Wednesday.
That's
Our game of the year thing came...
a little, like about a
Before
week
Christmas,
after, or a week and a half after we recorded it, right? No, it was like a couple days. We just skipped, I don't know, whatever, time. I don't care.
We've all read further.
Yes.
A lot further. Because none of us play games anymore.
Yeah, I
I
finished...
have nothing to play. So.
To be completely honest, I've had more fun reading than I've had playing games over the past little while anyways. So.
I think I'm starting to drift back towards games because I'm at a bit of a lull in books.
What do you mean?
Well, so I finished Flight of the Eisenstein, and I was like that was gripped by that book. I'm in Fulgrim now, and it's slow.
I was right.
I don't dislike it, but
I hated it.
on the way home the other day, I had to maybe rewind about 20 minutes of it because I had completely
Zoned out. Yep. I would be like, I missed the past 3 pages. Flipping back, like, I don't remember any of this.
Yeah.
None of this happened yet.
Well,
The first...
And, like, even fights are happening, and I'm, like, tuning out in a way, and it's just like, yeah, fights are happening. Whatever.
Who writes Fulgrim?
I don't know. It's funny, I find myself...
Graham McNeil.
He did good stuff.
He did False Gods, yeah.
That's, that's the other slowest one, though, that I've read.
Yeah, I don't think it's his fault necessarily. I think just the subject matter is...
It is weird, though,
Not
because
that
I found myself tuning out the most during, like, the combat scenarios so far. And for whatever reason, I find myself being able to pay plenty of attention, even when it's just following, like, the artist people on there.
Same.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, Myles, what progress have you made?
I have finished False Gods.
Heck
I
yeah.
finished it in a week and a half. If that's how long it's been since we last talked.
Yeah.
What happened in that book?
Oh, Jesus.
Do you find it... Not
Hard
like
to
it was
remember?
boring, but... Like, you forget a lot of stuff that happened
I
in it?
wouldn't say I forget a lot of stuff that happened. I just remember the key points.
Yeah.
Like,
Because I remember
so, like, it starts
when
out...
Kris was talking about it.
Well, it starts out with... it starts out kind of following Remembrancers, right? Like, the high-class fancy girl, right? Like, it starts off with her.
Oh, right. What's her?
Petronella
Petronella Viva.
Vivar.
Yeah.
Vivar.
Yeah.
And she basically flaunts herself around and is like, Horace, I want to be your bitch. And he's like, all right, I guess.
I guess so.
And I remember there was a point where he was questioning her, and she's like, well, like, fuck you,
Fine.
pretty much.
Fuck you.
And it's like, oh,
The perfect
or
woman.
she's like, oh, I may have blown
Yeah,
it. And then he's like, that's great, that's cute. One of those.
It's adorable.
Well, he laughs and goes,
It's
you're
like-
exactly what I need, or whatever he says. And then she's like, oh my god. Anyway, so then you kind of move ahead to, it gets right to the moon at Davin, I guess.
Yeah. The most exciting part of the book, in my opinion.
Well, so they go to Davin itself first, right?
No. Well,
For,
okay.
like,
A day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's already been, oh my god, what is it?
Conquered. Complianced.
Compliance.
Yeah.
To compliance.
But I guess that's important, because what I remember is, so they're there, and they're, like, celebrating compliance, or re-celebrating compliance, and then Erebus shows up, and he's like,
It's not compliant.
it's like this word, it's not compliant, Lord, in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And Horace is like, excuse me? You want to take this
I could
outside?
backhand your bitch ass through that fucking wall.
Yeah, it's like, the fuck, this planet isn't compliant, what you talking about?
And he's like,
And it's like, well, we don't need to talk about it here. It's like, you brought it up, we talking.
yeah.
And that was Erebus's plan the whole time.
To debate him into baiting.
So yeah, basically he says that
Debated.
he says that the guy that Horace had made stay behind
To
had
kind of
turned
lord over.
against him and
Yeah.
like throwing a full rebellion against him and shit like that and stuff. And so Horace is appalled by that, and he goes, well, we're bringing the whole fucking military right to the moon, and we're going to end this right fucking
And it was
now.
hilarious
Clean
the
it
way
up.
Erebus got him riled up too, because it was pretty much the equivalent of, Lord, I heard he said, you're a poo head.
Oh, hell no!
So anyway, so they show up on the moon.
Shit's different.
And the
Swamp.
And
It's supposed to be like a beautiful,
Forested
luscious forest moon.
Luscious lips.
and it's like it's just swampland, and it's warm, and
It's
they're
foggy.
just not. And they're just
Smells
like,
ass.
like the entire might of the Astardi military is there, or at least the Luna Wolves.
Oh, that's the thing too, because before they land on the planet or on the moon, they're gearing all up, and I can't remember who it was that was questioning Horus on this, and he's like, I want Titans there, and I want everybody, and we're gonna wreck them, and I'm gonna medal.
I want everybody on this moon right now.
And then he's like, and I'm gonna go there myself too.
Crash into the side of the moon and then war.
So anyway, so as they're heading down, they get Vox transmission again.
Samus.
No, not Samus this time. Something else, like Karguth or something. Karguth. I don't know.
Nergleth?
Thank you. I had the letters back. Anyway,
Wait, what?
Nergleth.
Nergleth.
Oh shit, I don't remember that.
Not Nurgle. Nergleth.
He's right. But anyway, so then it brings Loafin back to the, oh my god, it's like the Samus thing all over again, except they're like, no, it's actually in the box system this time.
And he tries to warn Horace, though. He's like, so this is like...
Yeah, something's wrong.
Remember
here.
that whole Jabal thing? This shit's kind of the same.
Yep. And so Horace is like, fuck it, we're going. They land, and the Vox transmission is only like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not that far away from where they are.
And they would have landed like right where it was, but it's distorted, and there's like huge fog drifts. Like they can't... Visibility's shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have to hoof it on foot.
Yep. And
Nurgle and Nurgleth are the same thing.
Okay.
So then Loafin leads his military, and they're rolling through the swamp, and I think Lokin's like, something's not right.
It smells like wet ass.
Not only does it smell, but then he eventually like looks down as he heard something crunch underneath his foot.
It's just corpses.
It's just corpses. That's all it
everywhere.
is. And he's like,
Why is there?
And the corpses suddenly like start like popping and floating up to the surface all around them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like something had been disturbed, and they just all the way up.
And then Loafin, leans down to see the tag on the thing and confirms that it is the people that they were going to kill.
Yeah.
And
grabs on him.
one of its hands just kind of reaches up and
With
grabs him.
alarming strength.
And Lokin's like, "What the fuck?"
And its eyes light up.
Yeah, and he gets dragged under the water, and I think it's Torgodden saves him.
That sounds right.
I think so.
That's kind of the start of the Lokin Torgodden.
The bromance.
Yeah. So then, and the Astartes and the army engage in a massive war with undead creatures. And the only way they seem to be able to kill them is by completely destroying their heads, because once the head is gone, then the body just goes limp.
Eviscerate its existence.
So they incur casualties, because these things are hella strong, and there's a lot of them.
Astartes don't generally
Die.
Like, not many of them, at least.
And to enemies that aren't using like guns and swords and shit.
Yeah,
like
because these things aren't fighting with weapons. They're just
grabbing on and
clawing, overwhelming.
Ripping through their
now, though, again,
useless armor.
One thing they have to try and take into account is that they're trudging through a swamp. Astartes are heavy motherfuckers. Like it's saying like their battle suits are strong enough to kind of carry them over this stuff, but they are kind of sinking, right? So
they're just pulling them under.
Yeah, so they're just kind of grabbing on and pulling them under and stuff, and they lost some Astartes that way. Anyway, they do that, and in amongst all that, while they had left, Petronella Vivar had jumped in her own ship.
It was like, I'm gonna go see the war for myself because Horace told me not to, but I know he was looking at me in that way that was like, nah, you better come, bitch.
She's so stupid.
Yep, so she goes flying down.
And it's funny,
died, or what's the mech's name?
The DSERA.
That's it.
Yeah.
Shoots it out of the fucking sky.
Well, and that whole thing,
Laser.
the whole way that panned out was great, because at first you get the scene from the cockpit of the Titan, the DSERA, and it's the guys inside are talking.
What the fuck is that?
And then they're like, yeah. Signal, flying object, very fast, closing in. It's not one of ours, because of course Petronella is flying her own private luxury golden
gay boat
tampon.
Jesus Christ!
So it's like, so you first hear that or have that scene. This is before you even know Petronella's left the thing, and then it flashes to her, and you're like, oh, I wonder what that.
Well, they hint that the golden boat left. Before that.
Oh, well, there was a thing where I think Loafin had noticed, like, oh, this is a weird
The fuck
thing.
is that thing doing?
But that was way before.
That's the stupidest looking ship I've ever seen. That was like, chapter.
But that was way before. And then you get this scene inside the DSERA, and then it flashes to Petronella, and it's like, oh man, I wanted to know what that thing was. Why is it following her? And then it's like, talks about her getting on her boat or whatever, and I hadn't put two and two together yet. I was like, huh, weird, okay, why is she, what a dumb bitch going down there? And then she flies down, and it's like in the fog, and then I'm like, wait a minute. She's blasted out of the sky. So
well, like, you have to imagine, like, that's a giant laser. Like, how does it not eviscerate the entire boat?
That's the thing, because she,
that laser.
her and her personal guard, Magard, her mute guy, because his tongue's been
mute
removed.
super soldier.
Yeah. So they crash, and then he whips out his super knife.
And it describes, like, the pilot as being, like, eviscerated, like, removed from existence. There's just blood left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the boat crashes. The Astartes use it as like a beacon to
rally around.
Everybody's like, let's
Everybody
rally
to the
around
Yeah,
the boat.
so they show up just in time before Magard gets wiped out by the zombies.
But
He put up a
he
friggin'
has a
fight.
blade that is like designed for fighting chaos creatures,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah.
He's
so,
not an Astartes. He's just a dude.
Just normal dude.
well, he's just a dude that's been enhanced with machinery and stuff, and that's it. And so he holds off as much as he can. Obviously, Petronella's alive, because of course she couldn't just die then, but whatever. The Astartes show up, they kind of clear the area, or I think they just... Oh no, the undead retreat.
Yeah.
They leave.
Then they find the ship.
So then they find the ship, and they identify...
So this is where the signal's coming from. This
They
is the ship
identify
of...
that's where the signal's coming from.
This is the ship of the big commander dude, and they're like, whoa, what's the ship doing here? And it's just like crashed into the planet.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So then...
Loafin, I think, advises Horus to do what they do next, which is like have the Titan light it up, pretty much.
Yeah, Horus is like, hey, let's go march again. And he's like, hold on, Horus, like, why don't we
Soften
light
it up a little bit, yeah.
You know, maybe we can get rid of the signal this way, like, let's just light it the fuck up. And they light it the fuck up. And then they go inside. They go in all different directions, including Erebus leading
They send him on his
little
own little contingent on his own. It's like, yeah, send the shifty guy. That's so I guess we haven't talked about this, but ever since the beginning of False Gods, Erebus has been like the dude whispering in Horus's ear. Horus
also, he's from the Word Bearers. He's not from any of these groups.
Yeah, it's like, what the
He's
fuck's
just
he
on his
doing
own.
here?
Yeah.
And Horus has not been consulting with the Mournival at all. His four trusted bros that, kind of, they're all... The whole point of the Mournival is that all four of them are...
The Mournival's supposed to stop exactly what has happened.
Yeah, and they're all supposed to be like so emotionally and intellectually different from each other that it creates like a round...
And they are.
Yeah.
No, they really are, actually.
Whereas Erebus is just a conniving...
Yeah, you know there's something up with this Erebus guy, obviously, but I mean, it's because he stole the Animanth? Is that how you say it?
Is that what it's called?
Animanth?
Animanth? The sword.
I never know names. But yeah, the sword.
Amaranth.
It's not.
My head.
Honestly,
That's not
when
what
I
it
read
is.
it, I was like, "Oh, Amaranth!" Oh, wait, no.
I know what it's not that spelled.
I was like, "It's not a band." But then, so anyway, so they go into the ship, and Horus leaves Loken and Torgodden outside because
he's angry at them.
Because they're the two that are like, "Yo, you shouldn't go in there."
And
Let me
And
go
he's
in
like,
there.
I only listen to the shifty guy. Okay, shut up.
Well, and they're the two that have been questioning Horus's...
Decision making, as they're supposed to.
Yeah, and they've been questioning his reliance on Erebus as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of had them on the outs with Horus. Like, he's not into them anymore.
Yeah, something's up.
So leaves them behind to guard the
He
entrance.
found cool new friends.
So Horus goes on his trek, and then the ship starts vibrating violently,
And like buckles.
and
right?
it crashes.
Continues to crash in half.
What did it say? It crashed with the might of a meteor or something like that?
Might of Zeus!
Something like that. And it's
it
a miracle
awoke
Loken
the
and
dead.
Torgodden didn't die, to be honest.
A lot of people inside did die, and Horus got separated from...
Yep, but
Everybody.
of course, because he's Horus, he's a beast, and he just kind of picks himself up, and then he starts traveling through the boat himself, and he's getting... the Vox signals aren't coming through, they're staticky and stuff. And who was the guy that went in? What was his name? It's the twin.
Was
They're the twins.
Like, was it Moy and
Is it
Moy?
Is it Moy?
There's two of them, yeah.
I can't remember.
I think it's
their names.
Moy. Anyway, so this Moy guy, because he's not part of the Mournival, so he's never going to be asked by Horus to do anything. Horus leaves Loken and Torgodden outside and says, "Moy, you come with me."
Yeah.
And he's all excited and stuff. And anyway, so he leads his own little pack of dudes. When Horus gets
Finally
up out
catches up,
out of the rubble and stuff, and he's traveling through the boat, he finds more of the undead. He has a huge fight with them.
And then they just kind of like
gone.
slough away in a way. Yeah, like he doesn't like kill them and then they're corpses. It's like as he's fighting them, they're like overwhelming more and more and more of them, and then they just kind of dissolve. Right? That's what happens.
Aren't Loken and Torgodden fighting at this point?
Yeah, at this point,
Oh,
I think that the undead have like regrouped outside and are closing in on all
It
fronts.
seems to be like in waves.
Yeah, and the DSE array is trying to fend them off, but like they're so close quarters.
They can't without blowing away Astartes.
Yeah, at that point.
And like they're
Because that thing's not meant to hold back.
and the Dies Irae, I say it, is like lighting up the swamp, like where they're not.
Yeah, wherever
and
they can, but it can't help the Astartes where they are. It's like all they can do is stem the tide of guys getting to them, but once they're there, it's can't.
But this like unstoppable machine, like nothing can get into it. Like it's just standing there in a swamp blowing things up, which is super cool.
And then it flips back to Horus, and he finds he finds where the transmission's coming from, and he also finds Moy, who is dead.
Yeah,
very dead
in the arms of whatever the guy's name is.
Yeah,
who's been corrupted by chaos.
And he's this giant, blubbering blob of fat and weird
pus and decaying, decrepit fool.
Yeah, so then Horus engages in a fight with him, and he uses...
Which is a surprisingly close fight.
For something so bloated and fat, but it's fast and powerful.
Yeah. And it has this... and it has a weapon that is acting on its own.
The hammer.
Yeah, so Horus notes that, the sword seems to have a will of its own.
Yeah. Like it's swinging and the fat guy's holding on.
Yeah.
But it says in the book, like, this guy speaks Horus the War Master to the sword, right? Yeah. And then the sword is in tune with just Horus, and it's trying to attack him, and it's trying to kill him, and stuff. And then, so he eventually gets stabbed in the shoulder.
So this was something that we talked about when we talked about Horus Rising.
Another shoulder.
It's a mirror image of the fight that Loken had with Jubal, where to end the fight, Loken purposefully takes a shoulder hit so that he can close the distance and run Jubal through. The exact same thing happens with with Horus and his fight here. He allows this hit to hit him in the shoulder so that he can end this dude. Little does he know, however, that one prick to the shoulder
is the start of the end.
Yeah.
So then it causes Horus to faint.
Like so, it actually hurts him like more than anything ever has, and like his wound doesn't immediately self heal like anything else would. Searing pain.
Well, because it said that he'd been slashed or stabbed in the stomach or something, and that had already healed itself. Like it's like that was okay, but this shoulder hit for whatever reason was just getting worse.
This blade.
And it wasn't.
It's almost like this blade is designed to kill exactly what it's meant to.
It wasn't clotting or anything, right? So then Loken and Torgodden have waited long enough, and they go rushing in.
Well, isn't it as soon as
the dead giant?
As soon as he dies, all the zombos just drop, right?
True. So then Loken and Torgodden find somebody else. The other people that had gone into the boat, like it was the one Astarte group. Yeah. Moy, and then Horus, and then Torgodden and Erebus is nowhere to be found.
Yeah. As per usual.
And so Loken and Torgodden eventually find Horus, who is crying, holding this dude in his arms kind of thing. Like, he's so upset that he's done, that he had to kill him kind of thing, but there was no other choice. Like, there was nothing he could have done. And then they leave the boat. And as they're leaving the boat...
Horus collapses.
Horus just is out, and he just collapses, and everybody goes into shock. Everybody's like, holy fuck, like, he's not doing well.
And then it snaps to the remembrancers aboard the Vengeful Spirit, and, like, it's like Carcassy and Mercedes are having a talk? Because they're talking about Keeler, right?
Yeah.
At this point, because Carcassy's worried about her since she's started going a little... She's found faith in a way. After her experience seeing and encountering the Jubal thing in the first book, she kind of went MIA for a while. And
got into some stuff.
Went around sleeping with a bunch of people to cope with things, and then found...
That's what I do when I get attacked.
And then found the Lectitio Divinitatis, which is a burgeoning cult, I guess, of people that... think of the Emperor as literal divinity.
I guess it had already mentioned that in the book. One of the Dies Irae.
So one of the Dies Irae pilots is a Divinitatis follower as well. Carcassy...
Has it talked about the origins of that?
No. Like where it first came from? No.
Yeah.
No. And not even up to where I am.
I don't know it either. I wasn't sure if I remember. I couldn't remember.
Carcassy and Mercedes are talking about
Keeler because they're worried about her. She's going around passing out pamphlets and stuff, and Carcassy's worried that like eventually she's gonna trace it back to her,
and she's gonna
because the Imperium of Man,
that's heresy.
Yeah, it's very specifically like, yo, we are
He's not a
secular.
god. Yeah.
Anyway, while they're having this conversation, but people start like running by, and it's like, what's going on? It's like, haven't you heard the War Master is dead?
Yeah.
Is what they're saying.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what? So everybody rushes to the hangar, and the ship comes in, and the Astartes come barreling out, because Horus isn't actually dead, he's dying, but they need to get him to the Medicae, and there's all these people swarmed around them, so what do the Astartes do? They part the waves with their fists!
Bashing these idiots out of
And
the
they're
way.
pulping people to get them out of the way, like an absolute massacre. It's like
and
an unstoppable force meets the most malleable object feasible.
All these fucking Play-Doh people in the way.
And I think it's led by Loken too. Actually.
Yeah, well, they're all part, like the whole Mournival's part of it. Like,
I
it's
completely agree with what they did.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, oh, what's happening over there? Out of the way, but what's happening?
Missed.
Although, you know what's kind of funny though is during all that, like the Mournival looks to Loken as the leader.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
Like Loken seems to
Even
be
though
the
he's
most,
like the newest to the group, he's
well, he's not the first captain, right? You would assume Abaddon would be the guy
Yeah.
everybody would follow.
yeah.
Or Axeman after him.
But it seems like Loken is the only one that keeps his head in pretty much every situation.
I was gonna say, he's,
like
Except for this situation.
Yeah. But he seems to have lost it less than everybody else.
yeah, like he's the most level-headed of the Mournival.
So Carcassy and Mercedes witness this.
Yeah.
Yes, and so they get him to the Medicae, and they get Vadon to work on him, and him and Abaddon have an exchange, and Abaddon grabs him by the throat and stuff, and he's gonna kill him, kind of thing, if you can't save the War Master. And I think it's Axeman gets in the way, and he's like, "Yo, dude, like you can't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, stop being stupid."
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
Because Vadon was like...
He's literally the only medic that is capable.
Well, and he's like, I don't know what's doing this. Like,
It doesn't make sense.
I'm applying all the knowledge I have, but I'm not trained to work on a demigod.
Yeah.
Like, only the Emperor would really know what to do here.
This is, like his body alone is beyond our comprehension.
So then they leave. Vadon seems to stabilize Horus at least. And then the Remembrancer, or Petronella, comes in.
Oh, yeah, he calls her in, right? Because he
To have a
has his
chat.
like last will and testament, effectively, because he knows he's dying.
And he has a very long chat with her. And all the Astartes are pissed off about it, because they're like, what the fuck? Like,
But why does she get to talk to him on deathbed?
I'm special.
I thought I was his
wanna
best
be
boy.
there.
yeah. So then, and then it cuts to, I can't remember who it cuts to, but it cuts to a lodge meeting. And it's, and we had recently found out that Erebus was the leader of the lodge, right? That
He was the one who started the lodge
Yeah.
in the Luna Wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry, he's not the leader. That's Margost, I think, or Targost. I forget their names. There's so many of them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So they're having a meeting, and Torgon's at this one.
Yeah.
And oh no, it's Axeman. That's who it is. It's Axeman. Because Torgon and Loken have gone back to the planet.
Yeah, so Loken...
Back to the moon to find...
So, because, Loken has a conversation with Vadon, and it's like...
if I find the weapon...
it would be really helpful if you could find the weapon that did this, and so Loken's like, anything, I'm going back to...
I'm trying to remember the names of who was where, because it's not until Galaxy in Flames that the lines are drawn.
Yeah.
So seeing people in different spots.
I think Torgodon goes with
Loken
there, and so does the other twin that didn't die.
Yeah.
Right?
So then Axeman is pulled into the lodge meeting, and they essentially are like, we're going to be taking Horus to Davin.
Had they already come to that conclusion yet, or was it a case of like everyone was like doom and gloom, and then Erebus is like, "What if I told you there's a way to save your War Master?"
Yeah.
Erebus, you creepy fuck.
Basically, yes. And
it's almost like this is what I wanted the whole time.
And then he's like, "Yeah, we need to take him to Davin, one of the tribes there." The Serpent Lodge.
They have a spooky room that can fix your boy.
And it's one of those things where it's like the most advanced of the Luna Wolf apothecaries
Can't even
do anything. Let's give them to the mud people to see if they can do it. I don't know. I'd be a little like, okay, Erebus, sit in your corner.
Well,
put your hat
because
back on.
Axemen is like, no, like that's stupid. Why the fuck would we do that?
Well, why do we
Except-
just book it for Terra? It's like,
Yeah.
well, the warp storms are pretty bad. We couldn't get there in time.
And then it's
the
also,
warp storms are getting worse.
Yeah.
and then also at the meeting, like there's Erebus, and then Malagurst is there as well,
Yeah.
which they hadn't seen before, right? Like that's the first time you'd seen him there.
You realize, like, everybody's a part of it.
Yeah, everybody's in on this
But
lodge.
Logan,
Yeah, Loken's the only one that is disbanded. Well, disbanded.
he hasn't attended a meeting.
He's just like, yeah, okay, bye, I'm leaving. And so anyway, so then while Loken and Torgan are on
Davin.
the Davin Moon, they take the War Master to
have a
Davin.
name, or are they just called the Moon of Davin?
This is the
Moon
Moon
of
of Davin.
Okay.
And then Loken gets back, delivers the weapon, and then he's like,
Yo, where is everybody?
Yeah, and they're like,
Oh, they took him down to the moon. He's like, excuse me?
They're gonna...
Or not the moon,
The
the
mud
planet.
people will revive him.
And he's like, that doesn't sound good at all.
That's okay.
yeah,
why?
that's a bad thing.
And
Why?
while this is happening, Carcassy has taken to spreading some information of his own.
Yes, because he was not happy with the way that Loken and friends handled the crowd of people.
But then also Varvis was vying for that as well.
Yes.
Right, because that's when Loken finds out that Varvis isn't happy, and
So Varvis, he's like the captain,
the Lord Commander,
the Lord Commander of the Vengeful Spirit, right?
of the army.
Of the army, yeah. He's the captain of captains for all the space boats, right?
Yes, he rules all
You-
the humans.
oh, the non-
he
the
runs the Imperial
non-Astarte.
army,
Yeah.
not
The
the
humans, not
Astartes.
the
Like the
Astartes,
non-Astartes, yeah.
Like he doesn't. He answers.
Yeah, so
actually, I
it's-
don't know. Would he answer technically?
He would
the
answer to
Astarte?
all the captains.
of the Astartes.
I think so, yeah.
Or I guess they'd be of equal rank, probably then.
I think if you're going to start, you're automatically higher than
You just bet it.
military guys.
I mean-
because 1,000 military guys, like one Astartes better.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, he's
because
not-
all the
he's not
military guys are
happy.
given, like the las guns, and it's like, yeah, those will kill some. Sure, have fun.
So he's not happy, Carcassy's not happy. Carcassy is spreading pamphlets with his best poetry yet about how the...
You got a new typing dinger, and he's writing stuff.
yeah, how like the Astartes are evil or don't care for you or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're going to blow you up.
up. And they don't care for you because you're lesser than them.
Yeah.
Some people are better than other
Yeah.
people.
So Loken gets wind of where Horus is, and he goes, "Well, fuck, I'm going. Like, I'm gonna go get the War Master. Like, this is ridiculous."
Drive me closer.
And Torgon's like, "Yeah, I'm coming too." So does
Yeah.
Nero Vipus, and the three of them show up.
Oh yeah, our boy Vipus.
Yeah, yeah, they show up too late, right? Because
They show up too late.
already
They're already
in the room.
behind the door.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so it's like a
closed.
whole...
The dream sequence has already started.
It's a it's a
Hold
whole
on, we're not there
mechanism.
yet. Hold on.
It's a whole mechanism of like once someone's entombed in there, like the door stays sealed until either the time is up or they undo it from the inside because they've been revived.
Nuka from orbit.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't know how mud people made that, but it sounds pretty elaborate.
They made it with magic.
Mud.
They made it with the
Mud
they made it with the influence of chaos.
Yeah, he's
Holy
not
shit.
wrong. He's not wrong, but we're not there yet. Shh.
Oh, yes,
Um,
yes.
So then,
It's not evil yet. Right now, it's just a mud god temple.
yeah. So Horus and Torgan and Vipus show up, and all basic 9 captains are standing in front of them, like, yeah, you're not opening the fucking door. So
You can't open the door.
you can't open the door. Plus, you're not going to.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go through us.
Yeah.
And Loken and Torgan are like,
On the verge of starting some
yeah,
shit.
we'll do it.
yeah.
But then they don't.
And then they don't. And then he goes back and he talks to the half-herd dude that's like, hold on.
Oh, the action cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yakton.
The action.
Yeah.
Because it's action cruise.
Oh my god.
and he's like, you know, things aren't the way they used to be and stuff like that. And he goes on about some stuff and actually strikes a chord with Loken finally.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, he's like,
And Loken's kind of like, you might be a cool guy.
yeah, your Astartes brothers may go through some shit, but they're still your Astartes brothers regardless. You must stand with them.
Yeah.
Because they're the only ones you get, kind of thing. And he's like,
And that's where,
Okay.
like, Loken realizes, like, this guy is...
he's not actually...
He's an honorable dude, just stuck in his ways, and those ways might be the good
He's
ways.
me, but older!
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so then also while Loken's on in the Vengeful Spirit,
Goes to Cinderman, right?
he goes to Cinderman to confide in him.
It's like, what's...
what do we do?
Yeah, can you parse any of this kind of thing?
And Cinderman brings out some books, and they go through some stuff.
Yeah, because Loafin mentions, like, they took him to, like, the snake temple, and Cinderman's like, snake, that's interesting. Because that lines up with, like, old imagery of... what was the name again? Oh, yes, like Satan.
Slytherin.
Yeah, like
Harry Potter.
And Loki's like, wait a minute, I've heard Satan described before when we were talking about Samus and the demon and all this stuff. And he's like, it's spooky shit.
Yeah.
Drive me back to the thing.
And then, and then it flip-flops to the planet, and Keeler's on the planet, and she's talking to one of the dudes from the...
the DSE array.
Yeah. And they're doing... She's taken over the little group.
Oh, yeah, she's about to, like, host a little conclave meeting.
No, she's moving up from...
Cause she's found herself...
Corner whore to priestess.
She's found herself, kind of like a speaker for the crowd. Like, she does sermons and whatever. Right
and then while she's on the planet with them, she bumps into some soldiers, and they freak the fuck out.
Proceed to assault her, and...
Yes.
That is actual assault.
Yeah.
That is what that is.
And
like, with intent to kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're, like, on the verge of killing her, and all of a sudden...
Torgadon shows up?
Torgadon shows up, but it's like he beats the fuck out of the three of them or something like that, like, very easily.
Does he actually... Or is it, like, does he hit one of them, and then it's like, you boys...
I think so, yeah.
So they did with one hit?
Yeah, and so then he's like, oh, by the way, Cinderman requests your presence, and I'm not leaving unless you come with me, so...
Yeah.
And she doesn't get a choice. She goes to the ship, she meets with Cinderman, and they're trying to decode something.
What does... So, yeah, how did this come to... The book ends up in someone's hands somehow.
Yeah.
Who got the book? Did she get the book, or did Cinderman get the book?
Cinderman had the book.
Where did he get it?
There was that other room, and Torgon or Loafin went into the room and got the book?
Loafin
went into
Because that was in this book, that was not in Galaxy and Flames.
Yes.
If Myles knows about it, then yes, it was in this book.
It was in this book. So then, anyway, however the book came out...
I'm also second-guessing, though.
However Cinderman has this book...
Was there a chamber room with the book?
Yes, Keeler goes into another room, yes.
Keeler goes into a room.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing.
Because she picks up the book, and then she finds it very hard not to put it back down. Like something is drawing
Describe the room.
I don't remember this at all, actually.
Because they're trying to...
I'm thinking of the room where Loafin gets a book.
Yeah. Or he sees a book. Does he
sees
take
a
it?
book.
I think it's the same book, though.
Might be. Book of Lorgar?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the same book.
Anyway.
It's a word-bearer book.
For whatever reason, Cinderman has this book, but he can't
read it.
He can't read it.
He can't figure out the grammatical correction for it.
But he's like, I could translate it if I had more to work with. And then is it Keeler who mentions that...
Keeler's like, meet me in another room in an hour and I have something for you. And she shows the pictures...
Of Erebus's head that she'd taken a picture of.
It's the same text.
And it has the same text tattooed on his skull.
And from that, Cinderman's able to translate it somehow. And while he's reading it...
He's a smart word guy.
Yeah, so he starts reading out the pages aloud, and then he's suddenly unable to stop reading it aloud.
Yeah.
Like, his words keep going against his will.
Yeah, and this
like warp vortex opens
above him, and something comes out of it.
This tentacle monster beast starts burning everything
and laughing hysterically, and it has multiple mouths and eyes, and like it's
and it's about to devour them, and then suddenly what's her name? Lee Mei Sing? Ing Mei Sing?
Ing Mei Sing.
She's this blind Asian lady that is the leader of the astropaths aboard the...
All astropaths are blind.
Okay, well, she's the leader of the astropaths that are part of Horus's Legion, I guess.
On the ship, I guess.
On the ship.
They use them for like sending messages.
So yeah, what astropaths do is they use their psychic abilities to send messages and navigate the warp, right?
Yeah. They've all been blinded because in order to be tested whether you can be an astropath or not, you have to be tested by the Emperor and put through like psych or hell, and it blinds you and destroys your body, and you may or may not pass. If you don't pass, you die. If you do pass, you get to live in eternal torment as an astropath.
But yeah, so like she shows up like because she senses the warp surge,
Yeah.
and uses mind powers to stop the thing for a sec. But it's like it's I can't hold it for long. It's gonna get you.
So
They close
like a super powerful psyker can only hold it off for a second.
yeah.
And then they
For
close the door and
context.
stuff, and they're backing up, and then Keeler's like, "We can't let this thing run amok. It's gonna cause some shit." And then she
She has some divine inspiration.
she it dawns on her that has a cross with the Emperor.
Well, it's not. It's like the.
and it's got an eagle
It's
on
like
it.
the eagle sigil. Is what
I
it
guess.
is. Yeah.
Okay. And
It's the Aquila. Like she has the silver Aquila, it's the two-headed eagle.
Yeah.
The Emperor protects.
and then she
says that.
She fucking Jesus is.
she basically channels Jesus and
Yeah, so she's like, the Emperor protects! And I guess manages to catch a momentary glimpse of the Emperor's attention that way. Like, and he sends a bit...
Super psyker
He
power.
sends a bit of psychic juice her way and, like, channels that
Obliterates a fucking
through
demon.
the Aquila and blows him up. And she's, like, trying to stop it, but it's like she can't hold her hand down because it's being burned in place by the Aquila, which is cool.
The Emperor must be pretty strong.
anyway, so they get rid of this thing, and then and she passes out, and then we flip back to
She like super passes out.
ultra passes out,
No, but, like
kind of mega passes out.
like her eyes explode, but backwards down.
I need a diagram for that.
And so it flips back to Davin, and Loken and Torgon and Vipus are back. And they have 300 Astari warriors with them, ready to go, kind of thing, in case a conflict's going to happen.
Because they're waiting for the
Waiting for the door to happen, and they just kind of casually like, oh yeah, by the way, 9 days has passed.
Yes.
So all this
That's right. In amongst while all this is happening, you see, you get a glimpse into Horus's mind, and Horus is
having some fucking trippy.
yeah,
dreams.
he's in a dream.
LS dreams.
And while he's in the dream, it's like a beautiful world, and then it slowly starts decaying in front of him and
he
turning
keeps
into the
having the
machine
same
world
dream.
that Terra is and Chthonia is.
Chthonia is the homeworld of the Luna Wolves.
And like he's stumbling around and he's trying to figure shit out and stuff, and he hears howling in the background.
And some wolves show up and they're talking to him.
And they're like, "Who are you?" And he eventually remembers, because he has no idea who he is. He knows his name is Horus, but that's it. He's just like, "I know I'm Horus, but I don't know who I am," kind of
His
thing.
skills are beautiful.
And then
Horus, who are you?
and then the wolf finally breaks through to him, I think by yelling Lupercal, I think. And then he goes, "Yes, I'm Horus, the War Master," and then the dream resets.
And then Sejanus shows up.
Sejanus, yes, from the first book, the dude that died that caused the war.
On False Terra. But it was like Horus's favorite son.
Yeah.
So he shows up and starts trying to like convince Horus that, I don't know, there are other powers that he can tap into out there.
Yeah, and so they're walking
That sounds
through.
evil.
They're walking through the dreams, and they're going through different scenarios, essentially. And Sejanus is like, "This is what you need to do. We need to stop the Emperor because he is evil," basically.
He's
So Sejanus, he tells Horus that the reason the Emperor has left the crusade to him isn't because he trusts you, it's because he's left to go pursue divinity. He's trying to become a god without you, effectively.
And so, like,
that is not at all how that.
yes, and so one thing that we noticed about Sejanus is something that actually happened to Erebus before that, because it kind of alludes to it, right?
It tells the reader.
Yeah, but Erebus is talking to the priestess lady.
That's kind of running the show.
Yeah,
behind the curtain.
and he's like, "Okay, we need to do this fast." And she's like, "I sense other energy around, or a presence of
He's
some
like,
sort."
"Oh, there's presents around."
And Erebus is like, Magnus.
Yeah, and he's like, "Magnus, damn it!"
He's surpassed me once again.
So Magnus
Dragon
is
Balls.
one of the other Primarchs.
Yeah,
And he delves into magic when he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
And
Or
so he knows something fucky's happening, and he's trying to remotely interfere with Erebus's plans.
Yes.
So Erebus is like, all right, well, I'm going to have to do the deep dive and get in the
I'm
dream.
gonna have to get in there.
And the priestess lady slits his throat, I guess, as part of the ritual, but he wasn't expecting it, I guess. But when Horus comes upon Sejanus in the dream, he's like Like he's
Janus-
like clutching his throat, checking.
Yeah, immediately grabs his throat, so you're like, oh, it's Erebus.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's your boy.
If
So
it
then-
wasn't clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he leads them through these different scenarios, and
Shows him like his own birth. As
Yeah,
well,
and,
like
like,
when the Emperor created him, and then like the. So I think Erebus was being upfront with him when he told him that the Emperor borrowed powers from Chaos as part of a deal, but then went back on the deal. Like he just took the powers and didn't make good on that end, and he used those powers to create the Primarchs. Am I understanding that right?
I don't know if he made a deal and then lied about it, but he did use chaos.
Well, that's what Erebus said, or that's
Yeah.
what Sejanus said,
Yeah.
is that he made a deal with the gods of chaos to get these powers, and then backed out on the deal. So that when the gods of chaos found out, that's when they
separated them.
So in the laboratory where the Primarchs were being forged, they created a warp storm and cast the Primarchs across the galaxy as revenge. So that much sounded true to me.
Revengeance.
Like maybe the Emperor went back on the deal or not.
When was he making the Primarchs? When was he? Wait, had he already made the Astartes when he was making the Primarchs?
He might have.
Wouldn't the Primarchs come before the Astartes?
No, like
Not
some
necessarily.
like there are the Astartes were before the Primarchs. Because yes, there are Astartes that are based off of the Primarchs, but the original ones were based off of the Emperor.
Yeah, because there's the original ones which were like meant to just die and be not immortal gods or super.
But even just like there were original legions like the Dusk Raiders, and then they became the Death Guard when Mortarion was found
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So
I'm trying to remember the timeline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. While Horus is present at this thing, he meets the custodian guard, who are
Super badass.
Joseph kind of explained to me on the side that they're actually like
Mega Astartes,
like they could take on Primarchs and win.
Yeah, they're
kind
like
of thing.
super ripped.
They're like super badasses.
Like Astartes to Primarch is these guys to the Emperor.
they're the Emperor's personal guard.
And so naturally, of course, they would be very fucking strong.
Yeah.
And
Horus wouldn't want to try and take on too many of those guys.
And in the dream, anyway, Horus eliminates the entire pack. And then they go through.
Then the Emperor shows up and it's like, "What are you doing, my son?"
Yeah, so like, is that actually the Emperor stepping into the dream then?
I don't think so.
No.
It's just representation of him.
Okay.
But then the dream whisks him off to Chthonia, and then the wolf shows up again there, and then takes the form of Magnus and reveals himself, and then Magnus accuses Sejanus of not being who he says he is, and then he's revealed and is, "Oh, it's Erebus!" And they're both going back and forth trying to convince Horus, like, "No, Horus, don't listen to Erebus. He's trying to tempt you with evil powers." And it's like, "Well, no, I'm telling you the truth, blah, 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 blah."
Magnus is using magic to get here.
Yeah, and then Horus is like, "Shut up, the both of you, I'm going to make my own decision."
Or like he had already said by that point, he's like, "I've made my decision."
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Loafin showing up with all the warriors and stuff, and
Yeah.
the door opens and out fucking strolls Horus, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's alive! Thank God!"
So I guess the thing that we didn't talk about in the dream is that what Erebus promised is that Horus could have life again and more power than he's ever had before, as long as he served the gods of chaos. In the way Erebus puts it, in Horus's own best interest to destroy his father and take his place, because he says he's betrayed him, right? He's left you alone and to pursue godhood. So this is the right path for you on all fronts.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I wonder which god he sides with.
Probably Nurgle. I don't know.
It doesn't have any of the effects of Nurgle, though.
I was gonna say, from what I've briefly read about that, is that it's the god of death and decay.
Yeah.
That's the one that keeps popping up. So I have to imagine.
Anyway, so then Horus shows up and
Have you gone to the temple yet in Fulgrim?
No.
so everything kind of seems a-okay. Horus is alive. It's like
He's back, and he's bigger than ever.
it's like a very long process of getting everybody back to the ship. So we come back to the ship.
Oh.
So then things start going.
Like Horus immediately is like, "We're heading out to the next place, and I'm telling you where we're going." And like people are like, "Wait, there's nothing there. We don't know of anything ever having been there. That's not our next destination. Why are you telling us to go there?"
And
of course they get there and there's like it's like a binary system of planets with life on them, and it's like weird.
Yeah, and not just life, like humans.
Human
like these
life.
are humans. And they have armor that is remarkably the same as they're coming off the ship. They're like, those look like Astartes.
So yeah, they
Now,
approach the
they're not
planet
as-
and like they send a delegation ship or whatever, like a
Much like we saw with the
ambassador.
Atrix.
Yeah,
and so then while they're coming out and stuff, and
it's like there you have very similar to Astartes
Yeah,
armor,
it's like-
and their ships are very similar to ours. That's weird.
yep, and like their weapons are almost the same, and like they're astonishingly similar to Astartes.
Like they're clearly not Astartes. Like they're not
They're not as
big,
big.
genetically enhanced, but they have very similar armor.
And so anyway, so then the
Ambassador.
the ambassador's like, yo, like this is us. Hi, how are you? Like, yes, we want to be a part of you. Like
before you ask, yes,
yes, we're here. We want to party up. This is awesome. Mankind is both the same and stuff. And then
Horse is like, so.
well, Regulus, right?
Oh yes, Regulus.
Regulus is like, but why do you look the same as us?
It's like, well, we just use standard template construct, of course, like the one that every human post is provided with, and like Horus and Regulus kind of share a look.
Yeah, and then Horus is like, pardon, and he's like, oh yes, we have an STC machine.
Yeah, which is a device capable of, so it manufactures and iterates on human technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it has the blueprints for all of humanity's most advanced technology,
including the Astartes.
including the blueprint for making Astartes, and then it can, based on conditions, it can change with using AI. It can change the technology to suit the conditions. It's like humanity's like greatest creation ever. However, most of all of them, as far as humanity knows, are gone. Like they've fallen into disrepair, been destroyed in conflict, that kind of thing. So these shouldn't and don't exist anymore.
It's to the point where, like, even in the 40, up to the 40K universe, if they find fragments of an STC, they will throw away billions of lives for it.
Yeah, that's what the Mechanicum is generally concerned with, is like recovering standard template blueprints to bring back into the fold. Like they don't have the AI algorithms to replicate on them and iterate on them, but if they can get the original blueprints themselves, then that's still adding to humanity's lost knowledge.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, yeah. So Horus gets wind of this and
immediately
It's like so like the ambassador's like, you see my staff here, and Horus is like, you're trying to kill me, and then blows him away on the spot.
Yeah,
I guess it doesn't. I don't know if it explains it, but that staff was actually capable of killing Horus as well.
I don't. It hasn't.
He says that as a cover-up, but it's actually an incredibly advanced weapon.
Is
that's used later, apparently.
It didn't say that at all.
So the guy was clearly just showing Horus,
yeah.
but Horus uses it as an excuse to kill him, declare war. Like, and the soldiers that came with the guy weren't even like, their weapons weren't even armed or
they
whatever.
weren't loaded. Like they didn't have magazines,
and just laid waste to them, and then waged a campaign on
10-minute war.
A 10-minute war, pretty much, and decimated them. It wasn't a 10-minute war.
It was 6 months.
Yeah.
I think. So then in the final hours of the war, the Brotherhood, that's what they're called, right?
Yeah.
Or the technomancy.
The technocracy.
That's
I remember they were called.
Technocracy?
Yeah. Yes. I couldn't remember what they were called.
Technocratic fool.
Yeah, you always call them the tech boys.
Yeah. Sci-fi.
So yeah, and so they've pushed back into this like impenetrable fortress kind of thing, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, the Mechanicum will take care of it." But they're actually waiting for Angron. Did I say that right again?
Angron, yeah, the Primarch of the World Eaters.
Yeah.
And as his name implies, he's just a big red angry dude.
He wields 2
chain axes.
As his
and when they finally broke the wall, and they were getting ready for the war
with Angron at the head of it,
a seismic load
detonation
of like
goes
sunk
off.
like an earthquake bomb pretty much goes off.
It sunk half of a building on top of Angron.
And all of his soldiers.
Yeah.
So then, like, was it Loafin and the rest of his company, they go inside.
Yeah.
They clean up the kind of last couple dudes on guard, but then it's like surrender happens almost immediately after that.
Yeah. And they come, and when they come out, the dude's like, you know, he's very old. He's clearly been around for a long time, and he's like, okay, like,
I hate that it's come to this, but we surrender.
And what is his name? Vadin? No, not Vadin. What's the
Barbas?
Varbos?
Varvis.
Varvis, yes. He's
Imperial.
Varvis is there to accept the
there. The surrender,
Yeah.
right? And while they're doing this, like the rubble
Angron leaps
rumbles
from the shade.
Angron burrowing back out from, like, what is it?
Tons and tons. An entire, like, fortress wall has landed on this man, and he leaps out of it.
Just blood fury. And who does he kill first? Does he kill? He
kills all of them.
Yeah, he jumps into the crowd
but then,
and
like,
swings, and it's like, body is just
But then a hail of gunfire opens up as well,
Yeah.
right? The world leaders.
Because the Brotherhood's like, well, we're not going down without a fight.
Yeah, if
kind
he's
of thing.
swinging, we're fighting, and then everybody's fighting.
And then
we're all
Loken
fighting.
and Torgodden and the rest of the Astartes that are now there.
They clean them all up.
very easily.
Even though surrender was right about to happen,
Yeah.
Angron had to get his fight on.
Yeah.
Because he's been genetically enhanced to be more angry.
Yes.
Yes.
He has things drilled
Most
into his
relatable
temples.
character.
So those were
in the
put
series.
into him when he was a slave boy on his planet,
Yeah.
and whenever he was found, he was like, "No, leave them in. I like them."
Yeah.
It's like,
They make me angry, and I'm okay with that. And
Good
anyway,
stuff.
so after kind of the dust settles, they're
Varvis.
Loken's like, "What the hell?" Like
Varvis is dead.
Varvis has been shot. Loken's like, "What the hell?" Like they just fucking surrendered. What's wrong with you? Kind of thing. But like he knows like he can't cross Angron. He's gonna probably just kill him.
Yeah, that's a Primarch, and probably the scariest one to
Yeah.
be face to face with.
They find Varvis lying on the ground with a hole in his stomach.
A big hole.
Very big hole. Very clearly from a pretty big weapon. And so then it cut the next page is they're doing his eulogy and he's dead.
And
Yeah.
someone comes to
Loken.
Loken is like, "You know, it was one of ours, right?"
It's
And they hands
Torgodden.
him the rounds.
It's Torgodden. He
Yeah,
comes with
like-
the thing and he's like,
And he's like, "Vaden gave me these." And it's like, "Yeah, these are clearly bolter rounds. Like
Yeah.
these are our weapons. He was shot by one of us."
This was-
It's like, weird, the guy that was upset with Astartes and the War Master over the treatment of the civilians gets taken out.
mm,
kind of expected him to get cleaved in half from Angron himself.
And then,
yeah, so but
is it
I guess
is it this book that the Carcassian Petronella thing happens?
so hold on, we're not there yet.
Okay.
And
I'm checking
so
the
I
timeline.
guess
Yeah.
I guess there's probably like a few scenes before that. It's Horus. They're going to the lodge after everything has been done,
When
and
Horus shows up there himself.
and in
Yeah.
the lodge, it's actually Horus, Magard, or Magard, or however
Magard.
Magard.
I say Magard.
Oh, it's good. Yeah, because Petronella has told Magard to learn everything she can about the Astartes.
Infiltrate the Astartes.
And report
because
back
he
to her.
can't speak, but she has the what is it? The memo quill. Is that?
Oh, yeah,
Everything
Memo Quill, because
he-
everything he thinks that will just get written down.
Yeah.
That's how he communicates with her.
So then he shows up, and then it's the other twin. The other twin is there
Yeah.
as well.
Mur.
And he's never been there before.
More.
Burr. And he says at this meeting, we need to get rid of Varvis and Ignis Carcassy.
Oh, yeah, that was earlier. Yeah, way earlier. Yeah.
Earlier, and that's when Fulgrim shows up.
Yeah.
We forgot to mention that part.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. Fulgrim gets the thing.
Fulgrim shows up, and he is Horus's actual favorite brother, I guess. Right?
Maybe.
There's
I'm pretty
super
sure.
bros, but I think Horus and Sanguinius are still.
I'm pretty sure it
Best
says
friends.
that Horus is better brothers with Fulgrim than he is with.
That is
Sanguinius.
two different authors.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
you
I
were
think it's
saying
one of
you were
those-
saying
There's
the
a
number difference
handful
and-
of inconsistencies throughout the Horus heresy and in the Warhammer universe especially.
So anyway, so they
And
brought-
that is done and that is explained because all of these are meant to be texts and stories of the events that are happening.
Oh, fuck off.
And it is it's inconsistencies for things that have been lost over time because
Uh-huh.
of these yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, fuck off.
It's really good.
So basically, from the second that Fulgrim showed up, it's only been Fulgrim and Horus, and they've just been together behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And they haven't been seen.
And that whole sequence is shown in Fulgrim.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. In their wake, or like when they leave, Saul Tarvitz is there.
My boy.
Lucius is there.
My other boy.
And then some brand new apothecaries there. Eidolon. Eidolon's there. But,
oh yeah, the
And,
apothecary of the Emperor's Children.
yeah, he's there too.
He's a very important character.
And he basically says, where's the Medicaid? I need to go
Yeah.
there. Or I would like to
Fabius.
Fabius, that's his name.
go. Sure. And he's like, I would like to go there. And they're like, okay, well, it's this way. And he says, thank you. He bows and he leaves. Salt Harvitz and Torgodden bro down. Lucius and Loken engage in some verbal play. And they're like, Loken's like, you ready to go another round? And Lucius is like, fuck yeah.
And they note, too, that Lucius has a bunch of scars on his face now as well.
Lucius has been through some shit, clearly. And Eidolon is just like, Torgodden? And Torgodden's like, yeah, bitch. Yeah, deal with me, motherfucker.
I'll backhand you.
So then Loken and Lucius engage in a fight.
And Lucius quickly puts him down.
Lucius is very clearly better at swords and fighting than Loken would be. And he says in a life or death situation, Lucius would probably best me.
Lucius is an incredible fighter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got sense of that from what happened on Murder, right? Yeah. Like, he's the only guy not using fucking guns. He's using a sword, and he's taking pleasure.
He's fighting against sword guys.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Vibrating sword bugs.
Yeah, yeah.
That very easily kill Astartes warriors, and he's just laughing as he's fighting them.
Yeah, Lucius is a cool character.
So then Lucius very quickly... I love him. Lucius very quickly handles Loken, and Loken's like, okay, so maybe next time, and Lucius is like, any fucking time you want, I'll fucking kill you next time. Kind of thing, and so then...
he's a sore loser.
Yes. So then...
and a sword loser.
So then Fulgrim and his bros, they leave... and I think it's after Loken gets the shell, he goes to Vadon.
And it's like, yo, where's the...
And he's like, hey, sword? Like, where's the sword?
It's like, don't you know Fabius took it?
And he's like, oh, I thought you knew. Fabius took it.
Like,
he showed me the sigil of Horus.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? And he's like, yeah, like, there was nothing I could do. And then Loken's like, okay, like, I understand why you couldn't do anything.
Not your fault. You fucked up, but not your fault.
But that means that Fulgrim now has the sword.
Yeah.
And then what happens? It cuts to inside. No. It cuts to Ignis or Carcassy.
Yeah.
And Carcassy's in his chamber and he's being writing his things and stuff.
Here's the door open.
Door knocks and he's like, come in, and comes in. He's like, who's there? And no one answers. And he turns around. And he sees that it's the Smagar guy. And he holds out this piece of paper.
Is Smagar a little different at this point?
No, they don't really explain anything.
No, this was his test of initiation, right?
It obviously very clearly was that based on what happens to.
So yeah, he hands a
paper to him, and Ignis is like, "Oh, okay, like what is this?"
And it's his own words, like from his own poems that he's been distributing, but rearranged in a way that it's a suicide note.
Yeah, and Magard proceeds to choke him out and shoot him through the bottom of the chin.
Put Carcassy all over the roof.
A little bit of Carcassy here, a little bit of Carcassy there. So now he's actually dead.
Yes,
he didn't Carcassy
this time he did. Because
you can shut your mouth.
Because during this lodge meeting that Horus was at, Horus says, "I'll take care of Fulgrim. Don't worry.
Yeah,
but you guys need to take care of Varvas and Carcassy.
Yeah,
right. Like that part's important.
So now we got Varvas down from the crossfire. Ooh.
Yeah, and now
Carcassy
has been murdered, but suicide note. And they're mourning his death and stuff, and then it cuts to Petronella, and she's in her thing.
She's been furiously writing.
Yes.
She's working on. She's been very excitedly working on
his last words.
Yeah, so everything Horus told her in the hours before
he's alive.
Yes, so he opened way the fuck up to her, and in his quote unquote final moments, all of his doubts and fears, all of his histories,
anybody,
like all his dirty laundry. Or not even dirty. It was like
all the
anything
he doesn't like. All of the
anything that would make him seem weak.
Yeah,
I guess. Whenever he wants to seem as strong as possible now, and he reads what she has to.
Yeah, he shows up along with Abaddon, and she's like, "Here, like I'm super excited. Like, would you look over my notes?" And he says, "Yes, of course. Like, let me see. I want to read it too."
And he's like, he spends a long time reading all of it, and kind of doesn't really make any remarks or anything. And she's like, "Oh, so is it not good? Like, of course, I'm not going to put anything out without your final say." And he's like, you won't."
No, you won't. And she's like,
or something like nobody will read this until you say so. It's like,
Nobody will read this.
Nobody will read this.
He's like, too bad nobody will ever read this, I
Yeah.
think is what his line is. And she's like, what do you mean? And then he slowly just starts approaching her.
Like,
and
puts his hand on her, like,
eventually,
shoulder or
Eventually she backs up enough and she's like, fuck this, like, I'm standing up to him because I've already stood up to him. This is
Like,
a
that
test
worked
very
the last
clearly.
time.
I'm going to do this. And she's like, I am Petronella Vivar of such
You will
and such,
respect
and
me!
You will respect me because I'm rich, basically. It
Yeah.
was just a sassy little bitch fit. Like,
Yeah.
that's all it was.
Sassy little bitch.
Well, it was, right?
Yeah.
And Horace very casually puts his hand on her shoulder, and they're kind of talking. It's like his hand gets to her neck or something,
And then just, like, twists his wrist just a little bit and breaks her.
and breaks her neck. So now she's dead. Ignis is dead, and so is Vargas. And those were 3 potential problems.
Those were the largest sources
That they were aware
of
of.
verbal or written dissent against Horace's
It's
action.
mass censorship.
And
Patriarchy.
and then and then I guess the last scene that it cuts to is they're inside the War Master's chamber.
Oh, and he's talking to Regulus.
He's talking to Regulus and Malagurst and Abaddon Axeman. Like, everybody's there.
Except for...
Except for Loken and Torgotten.
Yeah.
They're the only 2 that aren't there. They have no idea this meeting is happening.
Is this where Horace tells them their plan?
So he says, and Erebus is there too. That's very important.
Yeah.
And
bear the word.
And he says that, like, what we're about to embark on is something that will...
An adventure.
We will
It's like, I need to know you're all in before I...
Going to invade Robot Pirate Island.
Jesus Christ. And
It's never been taken. You'll never do it.
And he's like, this will
Change the
have us as
universe.
traitors and heresy and all this jazz, and they're all like, yeah, we're with you. And then he explains how he's gonna do it.
We're gonna blow up the Emperor.
Yeah, he's like, we're gonna go kill the Emperor, and they were like, well, like, what's your plan? And he's like, well, I'm going to have, and he talks about the Ultramarines, and Joseph and I have talked about this, like, actually for like 10 minutes, I think, because I was very confused.
We're trying to
by
figure out exactly where they came from and who was attacking who, because it's a little confusing.
Yeah, I could have sworn they were going to show up in Galaxy in Flames based on how things were being set up.
Right?
And,
no, they got their own problems.
But then what I was saying to Joe is, like, why the Ultramarines? And then Joe's like, well, it's probably because they're, like, probably the most badass ones.
Guilliman is like a force,
like the biggest
to be
threat
reckoned with.
to Horboy.
Yeah,
to Horus, but he's in control of them because he's the War Master and he can tell them where to go.
Yeah, well, until his heresy is known.
Yeah,
he can set things up in a way that's ideal for him.
So Horus sends whatever after the word bearers, essentially after the Ultramarines.
Like he mentions,
and then he sends the Blood Angels to fight against Chaos itself because he's like, I know that they'll cave to Chaos.
Yeah,
we don't know if that happens or not.
Sanguinius, right? Sanguinius?
Yeah, Sanguinius.
Sanguinius. These names are fucked, man.
It's like sanguine.
Lion L. Johnson!
It's the word sanguine. Yes.
Sure.
So much easier now.
Thank you for bringing it down. And so he says, we're going to send the Ultramarines to Calith, right? Calth, that's it. Whatever. And we're going to have such and whoever.
Yeah, so the Ultramarines are on Calth fighting, and then he sends the word bearers after them, and it's like, they're probably fucked.
And then he talks about the Blood Angels, and then he's like, and then he was like, I know what system I'm going to set this all up in, and it's the Istvan system. That's where it ends.
Well, not before he talks to Regulus. It's like, I need you to bring the Mechanicum around. I need Mars on my side. And in exchange for that, I'm going to give you this STC device. That's what this is about. Ooh.
The Abyss is a shit.
And the mechanic, because like Regulus isn't necessarily on. He's more machine than man. He doesn't care about the petty wars between.
The Mechanicum cares about the machine god, and that's it.
Yeah, so he will do literally anything to get the standard template construct because this is a god machine effectively. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So then once he gets the STC, Regulus is like, "Yep, we're with you. The Mechanicum is with you to the end. Like
you have provided us with the ultimate gift.
Thank you very much. Like we're with you.
We'll betray the Emperor for this.
Yeah, but again, it's that petty thing, right? Like he probably doesn't even actually see the Emperor as Like, he knows that it's his boss, but, like, he doesn't, like, view him as, like, this almighty being like everybody else does, I would imagine.
God is in the machine.
There's one Primarch that doesn't give a shit about the Emperor either.
And his name is Horus.
Perturabo?
Potarabu? Potarabu? Pooty boy.
Unlike all of the other War Masters.
They're all War Masters now!
Unlike all the other Primarchs. He's just like, yeah, I'm just here because I have to be. That's how it is.
Here, so don't get fined.
He's the most relatable dude.
Yeah, it's a horse is starting a thing, and sure, I'm in. Let's do it.
Oh, really? Like, he joins them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because he's talking
My
about...
horse is like, do you want this really cool hammer? And he's like, what do I need to do for it? He's like, you just join me to kill the Emperor? He's like, cool.
Just, if I give you this hammer, will you use it on Dad?
Yeah, sure, alright.
Hit Dad with this. Got it.
Do I have to, like, kill him? Just hit him. See what happens.
Pretty hard right in the face.
Yeah. I need you to go in first and try and hit him, and then when you die,
I'll go in after. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Horus kind of briefly talks about the guys that are with him, and he has sent, what's his name? Ferris Manus to go get Magnus, and they were originally going to bring Magnus back to Terra.
Well, Magnus was going to Terra.
No, he was being sent.
No, he sent Lehman Russ after.
That's it, right? I couldn't remember.
He sent Fulgrim after Ferris Manus.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what did you say his name was? Lehman Russ?
Lehman Russ.
So he sends Lehman Russ
because the Space Wolves hate magic and they hate the Thousand Suns. So it's just like, you want to go kill them? He's like, I can.
Yeah.
So wasn't Magnus being sent back to Earth for like to face the Emperor for like
because the Emperor had presumably
found out that he had used space magic
and he didn't like it and he was going to reprimand him.
But now Horus is intervening in that to prevent him from getting there because of course Magnus will tell him.
Yeah.
Well, not only will Magnus tell him, then that's another force that Magnus would have to that Horus would have to deal with while there, right?
Yeah.
So then...
Because the Emperor would side with
Magnus, of course. Well, he doesn't want to die, right? So... I mean...
Who knows, really?
So then he talks about the different Primarchs that are definitely with him, and Fulgrim is one.
Yeah.
Which then kind of explains why he has the sword then, I guess. Because it's like, get it off the ship away from the people that already suspect shit anyway. Mm-hmm. Get it away, and we'll use it later. I'm presuming that's what it's for. They're going to use it again.
Or it'll never reappear. I don't know. I'm not far enough to say.
There's 2 swords.
Maybe even a third.
Who does...
Well, there's 3 swords, but 2 of them are from 2 different death gods.
Who does... Someone explains what the weapon is. I think it's Loafin. Loafin explains it to...
Which weapon?
The animant?
Oh, but it's...
Amathane.
Amathane? Is that how you say it? Anathane?
Anathane, I think is what it's called.
Okay. He explains that it's a Kinebrak.
Kinebrak. That's the name of the...
Kinebrak,
I read it. Kinebrak.
It's the Kinebrak, yeah.
Kinebrak. He explains that it's a Kinebrak weapon, and that it's very powerful.
Yeah.
And then it's clearly been imbued by...
Chaos. It's like spooky good.
I wonder if the Kinebrak were immune to chaos.
But I mean, wouldn't it have been corrupted then afterwards by Erebus? Because he has it in a little fucking thing in the bottom of the ship.
Be made, and then imbued with chaos, like during creation.
Okay. Well, because
and it was known for its properties before Erebus had it, like the ability to take down anything.
Yeah. Yeah, become the weakness of whatever
nemesis.
It is it's fighting against.
Yeah, right. That's literally what its description is that this weapon becomes
so it became
the nemesis.
Exactly what the Horus couldn't. What War Master the Horus couldn't fight against.
Because I guess that's the thing. It didn't just wound him, and then it was an unsealable wound. It was like poisoning him as well with this ever-changing, shifting virus. Which that's something.
That's exactly what his body couldn't fight against.
But that's also something that comes up again in Eisenstein.
Yes.
Is another pathogen that behaves eerily similar, almost as if its origins are the same.
Nurgle.
Yeah.
Because because they were explaining that Horus is basically immune to everything except for whatever this sword happened to stick him with, and they were like, "What are the odds of that?" And he's like, like not very high. But
it's like, how do you kill a Primarch? It's like you either blow them up or you poison them with a poison that's a different poison every time it poisons. It's like, okay,
it's just like it's ever adapting to his body. Like it continues to change itself.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like it's story damage.
And then I think the last thing in the book ends with someone's
kill Carcassy again.
Someone's talking to someone. And it's like, yes, we're going to the Istvan system.
And that's one of those things. Like people that have been reading the Warhammer series for years,
one of those bullet point events.
Were like, yeah, the Istvan system.
Well, it's kind of like how Horus Rising ended with, we're going to Davin, and it's just like, oh,
the Davin.
Dave's
moon.
So yeah.
Davoon.
So, my Galaxy in Flames book is supposed to show up on Tuesday.
So you haven't started yet?
I haven't yet. I literally just finished False Gods yesterday.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I'm waiting for Galaxy in Flames. I will power that out in a week and a half again, probably. And by that point, Flight of the Eisenstein and
Descent of Angels
will be
my current probably
house.
Order of favorite books is probably Eisenstein, Galaxy Rising.
I liked False Gods. It was cool.
I like it too. It's number 4, I guess, for me. But
I mean, out of the two that I've read so far, I like False Gods more.
False Gods,
But
I don't know if I like it, but it felt like the book was more necessary than entertaining.
Fair
You know what I mean? It's
False Gods is my favorite of the trilogy.
It's more informational, less sensational.
That's fair. I'm excited for Galaxy in Flames because, as Joseph has very kindly disclosed to me, that it's just shit gone wrong from the start and it never stops, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
as is just the rest of the series.
Yeah.
So
all the way through 40K.
Yeah, all the good stuff is stopped. It's all just bad stuff from here on out, but it's cool bad stuff.
Mm-hmm. And then you said Flight of the Eisenstein is also...
Flight of the Eisenstein is fantastic. My favorites would be Legion.
Yeah, so I haven't read Legion yet. I'm on Fulgrim now.
Legion's fucking dope. Legion's exciting. Yeah, Legion would be, like, I think I've said this to you, Mad Max and Bourne put together. Descent of Angels is like a Drake.
In terms of quality or in terms of, like, setting?
Setting and story.
What?
Yeah. Descent of Angels is like a Dragon Age thing, in terms of, like, setting and story. This is 1,000,000% like the Fellowship of the Ring.
Battle of the Abyss? Battle for the Abyss.
Yeah, Battle for the Abyss. It is the Fellowship of the Ring. It's like, this group of misfits has to stop the thing from happening.
I think I own Battle for the Abyss already.
Yeah. You got Battle for the Abyss.
I have Mechanicum, Battle for the Abyss, and Legion. Yeah.
Mechanicum is next after Battle for the Abyss.
So, after I read Fulgrim, it's then Descent of Angels, right?
Yeah.
Listen to.
Same thing.
Audiobooks. I'll have another credit.
There's a few that we're skipping.
Are we skipping Tales of Heresy?
Where is that in the series?
I think that's after...
Don't you have it set up here? It says it's after Mechanicum.
I think that's after Mechanicum. Have you read that already?
No. No, I haven't read any of these.
You're reading Battle for the Abyss, though. Oh, wait, that's after...
I've started it, yeah.
But that's before? No, I guess it's after... Yeah. I ask if we're going to be doing that because that one's going to be more costly for me to get because there's no audiobook that's all of that in one. All the separate little mini stories within that are their own audiobooks.
We will be doing them, but we don't have to do it in order.
Okay.
You can skip to the next one.
And I guess I won't be using any of my Audible credits to get any of that stuff. I'll just be buying them.
Yeah, it won't be very costly.
They're like $10 a piece.
I think we can go straight to Thousand Suns. Oh no, Fallen Angels is in between. I don't have that one yet.
Oh, does it actually say the order inside the... Oh, cool.
Yeah. I always tend to grab one of the bottom ones for the order. So we're skipping a few that are just a collection of short stories just because, A, it's not cost effective for you. B, I'm not terribly interested in the short stories. I just kind of want the big stuff.
Mm-hmm. Would you say there was one you were telling me about that you described to me who the short stories were about, and I was like, oh, that does sound cool. That might have been Tales of Heresy. I can't remember.
Oh, it's Garrow's.
Huh?
Garrow's.
Garrow's is a tale?
Yeah, it's all short stories, I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, and you were like, yeah, I was about to say, but no.
The events of those lead to Vengeful Spirit.
Cool.
Yeah. That's book like 43 and 44 though. Yeah, we're gonna skip. There's a book called Age of Darkness, which is a ton of short stories about other happenings around the Horus Heresy, other dark, evil things. And I'm kind of like, I want to read the guys that I care about. And a lot of people have said, like, if you're gonna read Warhammer 40k, read about the things you care about, or you're not gonna be interested. If you don't give a fuck about the Tyranids, don't read a book of the Tyranids.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like, because I am already starting
Tyranids, right?
Tyranids, yeah.
Keep mixing up Warhammer 40k, Destiny, and Halo.
The thing I'm already running into, the thing I'm running into a little bit, and it hasn't been too bad, but it is surfacing, is that like after I finished Galaxy in Flames and started Flight of the Eisenstein, at first I was a little bummed because it jumped back in time. Like it starts before Galaxy in Flames starts, but then it ends after Galaxy in Flames.
Fulgrim does the same thing, starts and then ends.
So I was feeling a lot of momentum going from Rising to False Gods to
like
Galaxy.
You're making progress.
And then suddenly it's like, oh no, now I'm going over here and not seeing as much. But then Eisenstein's now like my favorite book just because of where it goes. It's like, okay, that's awesome. Fulgrim seems to start even further before, and I guess is going to end even further after. And it's like, okay, at least I'll get some furthering of the story.
Galaxy in Flames is Istvan 3, which is the start of the Galaxy in Flames, and then Istvan 5, known as the Drop Site Massacre, is the end of Fulgrim. Mm-hmm. No books apparently really cover all of the Drop Site Massacre. It kind of just summarizes the events, which really sucks.
But I guess
there is a handful of books that follow after that.
I'm just really curious, what's the next... Is Battle for the Abyss the next book that really moves the story forward in terms of that main thread?
No.
No? Is that another parallel?
Battle for the Abyss. Yeah, so Descent of Angels is like far prequel. And then Legion is...
Even further prequel? Or parallel, unrelated?
It would be after Legion, but before...
Legion is after Legion?
Sorry, Legion would be after Descent of Angels, but before Horus Rising.
Okay.
Yeah, because in Legion, Horus is already the War Master. In Descent of Angels, it's about the discovery of the Dark Angels Primarch. Okay. This is about the Ultramarine. Battle for the Abyss is the Ultramarines, and the Word Bearers are already evil.
Okay.
But that's all I know. The Mechanicum was already working with the Word Bearers. So that's your timeline.
Okay, so it is current.
Yeah.
Well, at least Galaxy in Flames current.
This might be happening during the Istvan 3, because I think they're going to attack Macrog and Calth. And then next we have the Mechanicum, which I think is about obviously the Fallen.
Well, it's probably about Regulus trying to turn the rest of the Mechanicum to Horus' side, right?
Which will be really interesting, because there's a lot of stuff about the Mechanicum that we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But this will be, I think, the next...
Which one's that?
1,000 Suns.
Use your words.
I think 1,000 Suns will be...
The next story advancer.
Oh, no.
Is that...
when the ill-fated Primarch foresees the treachery of the War Master Horus, so when Magnus sees...
So it starts before False Gods, then.
And warns the Emperor with forbidden powers, the Master of Mankind dispatches Leman Russ.
Okay.
So the Emperor dispatched Leman Russ.
No, because Horus, it says right at the end that Horus...
Primarch of the Space Wolves to attack Prospero.
Well, Horus will become... He wants to be known as the Master of Mankind. It does say that in False Gods.
Yeah, that would make sense if it was Horus that sent it then.
Yeah, why would the Emperor do that? Yeah. And then we have... No, there's something between these two. 1,000 Suns. Then comes Nemesis. I don't know what that one's about. Then comes the First Heretic, which I think is all about... Yeah, Fall to Chaos. That'll be all about the Word Bearers.
I just want to know what happens after Istvan 5. I guess is...
That won't be... Vulcan...
I know all this other stuff is important because you're finding out all these different characters and how they link together and the motivations and happenings and all that jazz.
but you get your main trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And you
So
wanna...
Age of Darkness. There's a lot between these. So book 26.
Cool.
Vulcan Lives, which is kind of spoiler. This is like months after Istvan 5.
Yay!
So we got a while. Yeah, it's really covering all of the other groups.
Mm-hmm.
I guess so. The only ones we don't really know about at this point are the Night Haunters and a Raven Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Who we were talking about the Raven Guard yesterday. I reread the end of Fulgrim. So everything I said about the Raven Guard is wrong.
Oh.
Forget everything I said. I had them mixed up with someone else.
You were thinking the Dusk Raiders.
Cool. Dusk Raiders.
So the Raven Guard are around, at least?
Yeah.
Dusk Raiders sounds like a sex thing. Alright, that's a podcast.
Smooth butts. Let's end the podcast.